2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Yo, what's the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers post-game show here on CarolinaCatChronicles.com. The Panthers fall. Cardiac Cats had a heart attack at the end. A Joey Sly missed field goal. A inability to close out the game when you have the ball on the 5 with a gift from the Minnesota Vikings after the defense scores more than half of your points in the day. The Panthers found a way, managed to lose this game by 1 point with 40 seconds left. Boy, it was a typical Carolina Panthers game. The Cardiac Cats live on. And if you're a fan of a team trying to bring an exciting game to you, an entertaining game, and still lose, boy, this was the game for you. The number's 252-228-5098. Chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions with myself and my homeboys, my co-host here, Cody Lashney. Welcome back to the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Tony Dunn, here we are again, man. Another missed field goal away from winning. Another game where Teddy Bridgewater had the ball in his hands and our offense couldn't do anything. And now it appears that Teddy Bridgewater's inaccuracies might have just ended DJ Moore's season, man. And I intend to pull no punches on today's show, and I never will pull pull punches. And we're gonna do it with the best fans in all of YouTube, man. Sarah Taylor, Lee Trotter, DJ Perez, Jerome Miller, Nathan Siebens, Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Alex Christmas, Trill One, Tony Dunn, and nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number's 252-228-5098. Go ahead and call. Leave a message. We'll play it on the podcast today. No call goes left unheard in the post-game show. And to help us do this, we've got Codizzle Allen, the man of many streams. Welcome back to the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm just going to say this right now. Anybody in chat, I'm going to tell you, just don't even try. Do not try to defend Teddy Bridgewater in any facet on this podcast tonight because you were going to get roasted so bad. Teddy Bridgewater is the reason we lost, is the only reason we lost. You can blame it on Sly, sure. Feel free. He didn't make that end of the game kick. You can try to blame it on the defense. But guess what? In what world can you say when the defense scored more than half of the points your team had the entire game that they're the reason that they lost the game? They did everything they possibly could. This is all on Teddy Bridgewater, and I have been somebody who has defended Teddy Bridgewater. This loss is entirely on his hands, and you can try to also say, well, that last drive, he gave us a shot. I don't give a shit. That should not have been a situation had he not injured DJ Moore on a wide-open end zone pass. And, Cody, this is one I'm going to disagree with you on. This game is exactly why Joe Brady will not be a head coach next year.
All right. I like it.
All right. Joey Sly misses a 54-yard game-winning field goal. The Panthers fall 28-27, Greg. Greg, we have the man of many streams, and we have the man of many podcasts. Greg, welcome to the C3 Panthers podcast. Tough day for being a Panthers fan. And is it you? I'm like, we only got nose up. Maybe it's me, and I'll try to edit the box. Oh, that was me. Got it. Okay. Fix it. I'm fixing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, man. Tough day for Panthers. To be a Panthers fan, I suppose. It's kind of what I expected. I've been calling this all year long about Teddy, all year long about the coaching. It's finally coming true. I'm just riding this train now, man, because I've been driving it the whole year. So we're gonna see what happens in the future. And CK, that's a great point. You know, you bring up about Brady not being a head coach next year, and this is the reason why. And I 100% agree with you. That I don't think that, through this season, I don't think he's proven anything that's going to make him a head coach, not next year at least. So
I've said the talk is premature on the Brady being a head coach, but let's start with that, CK. Tell me why today lets us know what was the problem today from this offense and Joe Brady.
So all game, what have you been seeing from Teddy Bridgewater? The first half?
The same we always see.
Mediocre at best. He was missing wide open receivers. He was overthrowing people, underthrowing people all game. So what are you going to do when you need to run the clock down at the end of the game? You don't put the ball in Teddy's hands. You don't. He is not the best player on the team.
And he didn't. We ran the football.
No.
We did nothing but ran the football, and there was a turnover on downs.
No.
Muffed punt.
Hold
on. Punt is the only thing that gave us the ball back.
Final drive went on the 5. On the 5.
That last series, there was 3 passes. One pass, but it was one run, and then it was 2 passes. One was dropped by Cannon, and the other was dropped by Ian Thomas. Stop the clock. And then they got the ball. We punted the ball. They fielded the punt. And then they muffed it. We got the ball back. We ran it twice and then threw the ball again. We ran a total of 11 seconds off of the clock after the muffed punt. That is a problem on an offense. That is an issue, and that's an offensive coordinator putting the ball in Teddy's hands when it shouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm. And just let you know this was after. Was this?
Listen, when they did try and run the clock, they stone cold stopped us. Because we had no aggression to our offense.
We got one first down.
Listen, we get to the red zone every single time. And we saw last week that when we had a better quarterback, we were able to put the ball in the end zone. What a coincidence that every time we're in the red zone now, we can't do shit. It's the same play caller. Teddy Bridgewater just fucking sucks. And I'm not
4-yard run, 2-yard run, pass incomplete. This is what happened. Here's the exact play. Here's the exact series of play. 1st and goal on the 9 after a muff punt. On the 9, let you just know this. And where I was at watching the game, I went to a sports bar to watch it, and everybody and people that were not Panthers fans said, game over. That's it. That's the game. 4-yard run, Mike Davis up the middle, 2-yard run. So we did run twice, and then we passed. Incomplete. That was the DJ Moore pass that ended up with a field goal. You almost wonder if going for it on 4th and just running it and turning the ball over on the 7 or 6 or whatever would have been the way to do it.
Better idea.
I don't know what it is, but okay. So Joe Brady and this offense does not deliver at the end or at all really in this game.
It's 100% on Bridgewater. The reason we lost. Don't get me wrong. But the problem,
I don't know. Sly missing a field goal is a big deal. We had an opportunity. Teddy Bridgewater did throw throw it to the 47 and hit Curtis Samuel. We were able to get down there. Yeah. We were able to get down there, and Joey Sly missed the field goal. That has to be considered in this moment. Teddy Bridgewater played. I think Teddy Bridgewater had the same game he has. The only thing different today in Teddy Bridgewater's game was that he had a poor completion percentage.
Jeremy Chin proved this game alone why he is the defensive rookie of the year and put up more touchdowns than Teddy Bridgewater. Our defense gave us a fucking chance, bro. Listen, we don't have a ton of talent on our defense, but the talent that we do have, they show up and they're looking to punch you in the mouth. And every single time they do it, Teddy Bridgewater and this meandering offense fail them at every single level.
100%.
We cannot affect every level of the field. PJ Walker gave us a better chance. And I tell you what, I'll go Team Bat Daddy on this one. I blame the coaches for feeling shackled to Teddy Bridgewater instead of going with their balls and playing the fucking quarterback that should have been playing, which is PJ Walker.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree at all. I think here's the thing. I think it's okay. Give him a shot against a defense that was supposed to be bad in the Vikings and give him an opportunity. But I think after the first quarter and that interception, I mean, he clearly was not a good, he was not doing well. And you can sit there and say he picked it up there after that. Sure, there were some nice passes. He had some deep passes, but he had more bad plays this game than he had good plays. And you can sit there and try to say, well, that Robbie Anderson pass, that was all on Robbie Anderson. If any person on this chat thinks that Robbie Anderson was not the reason we got that touchdown, that is just complete fallacy right there.
It was a 6-yard pass. Yeah.
It was 100%
Teddy
Robbie Bridgewater was not doing a good job today. He was just not making good decisions, not making good throws, not making good reads. And then when he did, everybody wanted to praise him. Oh, did you see that? You guys are not talking about when he does the good shit. And I'm like, well, listen, here's the thing. He has so much bad shit. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for us to sit here and praise that's like saying, hey, listen, you are a really bad employee. You have one of the worst sales records on the floor, but because you did one thing right, you're all of a sudden great.
DJ Moore will go on injured reserve after today's game because Teddy Bridgewater is incompetent at his job.
Well, hold on though. Okay, I get Teddy Bridgewater missed him on that pass, but why now? And I'm not a Teddy Bridgewater defender, but why was it Teddy Bridgewater's fault he got hurt there?
Because he had to contort his body to try to get the ball.
Okay, so I wouldn't, but is that the why he got hurt?
Yes,
because he had to twist back.
100%.
Okay, well, all right.
Teddy Bridgewater finishes the day.
He had to adjust to the football. He had to go out and get that football and bring it in. It wasn't even a good throw, even on the deep passes that DJ or that Teddy made.
Let me ask you a question, guys.
Yeah.
Before I just want to at least have this as an illustration. What team have you ever seen that you have said you have a good quarterback and the defense scores 2 touchdowns for you and you still found a way to lose? What quarterback in the history that you have ever said is good has done that before? Against, by the way, a bad defense.
The worst defense in the NFL at home.
I want to put this out there that I think that might be the only time. So, Greg, when was the last time a guy scooped and scored twice in a game?
1943, I think.
Who was that guy?
It was Fred Evans, and I actually probably still have the window.
So in 1943,
Fred
was
Evans
the last
for the Chicago Bears versus the Washington Redskins.
Last time there were 2 fumble return touchdowns by the same player. Think about this.
It was November 28th too, so almost exactly to the day.
This was back-to-back plays ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I think it was the first play after the kickoff that this happened, and then we get that. So take that, Jeremy Chin and Kerr. What's Kerr's first name? I don't know Kerr's first name, but this dude, I need to learn it because this dude brings his lunch pail every week. I said this several weeks ago, and I know that body play and style is a little different with Kerr and Kyle Love. But Kyle Love was a guy that just made plays. It was not a sexy player on the team, not one, but a guy you just liked having on the unit. Kerr, I believe, continues to have a role in this on this team going forward. Very happy with his play. Teddy Bridgewater finished the day 19 for 36, 267 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, I mean, the volume is, you wouldn't expect him to have a lot of yards when he wasn't out there. But today, this is the one thing with Teddy Bridgewater, guys, is you saw him. Teddy played the same he always plays. The only thing that was different is that he didn't have a 70% completion rate. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have still been in those same positions. You would have still had those same opportunities. You would have still had these same limitations.
Tony, what do I say about Teddy Bridgewater?
That we know who he is. He is what we thought he was.
He is who we thought he was. And every single
we've been
Sunday
saying this
adds to the sample size. He is who we thought he was. He will never put you over the top. He will never win the football game when the game is on the line. I don't care. Every once in a while, he'll scramble for a first down and be like, oh, Teddy's so tough. Oh, his completion percentage is so good. It's fucking stupid. If you can't admit at this point in time that Teddy Bridgewater is holding this team back, then you're just hanging on his dick because he's the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers and you're a biased fan and you don't want to admit when your fucking quarterback sucks. That's just what it is, dude. Straight up.
Now, to be fair, though, I don't even know why I start the sentence with that, is that this defense did crumble at the end, right? Is that we did allow them to march and march and march at the end. We played and Vilma, who I was not happy with some of the commentary that he offered, particularly. You say one thing and it throws me off kilter. When he said Dalvin Cook reminds me of Chris Johnson, I was like, that's the worst comparison, man. Chris Johnson ran a 4.2 straight up. And I don't care how fast Dalvin Cook is. We can find an Emmitt Smith comparison, maybe. We can find some other comparison other than that one. So I was upset the whole time. But he said in that last drive, you are not going to fluster Cousins with the 3-man push, the 3-man rush. And I tell you, a big Phil Snow defender right here. You're looking at him. The defense, I thought, was flying around today, playing tough. And I tweeted out about in the third or early fourth quarter is we're not getting home every time, but this defensive line is really starting to cook. And then we allow this to happen. It was a calamity of errors on all parts. And I'm not ready to say it's all on one person. But I would say this, is that if you're upset with someone saying it's all on Teddy Bridgewater, then you can't say it's all on Joey Sly. You can't say it's all on Phil Snow.
Mm-hmm. Do me a favor real quick. Hold on, Greg. I'm going to let you go real quick. There are 78 people watching this right now. There's 29 likes. Like this video if you think Teddy Bridgewater fucking sucks. Like I do, because I sure like this video. I think Teddy Bridgewater fucking sucks. And if you do too, hit that like button, baby. And you know what? If you disagree, hit that dislike button. Just hit a fucking button, dude. Mm-hmm. Because you know who can't hit the button when it's time? That's right, Teddy Bridgewater. Now back to you, Back Daddy.
Gosh. All right. The number's 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button whether you like or dislike Teddy Bridgewater under that. And what I say is this, we're not one note. We are Panther fans discussing the Carolina Panthers. The way I like to think about this podcast is just a group of Panther fans riding in the car to and from the game. So you be a part of the conversation. Get in the chat room. Get in the cat calls. Go ahead, Greg.
Well, okay, so I don't have the exact stats right now because the game just ended, so it's a hard time pulling up like stats that just happened. But I'm willing to bet each team probably had about 12, 13 possessions today. Maybe 10, somewhere between 10 and 12 possessions a day. We held the Vikings to touchdowns. They scored only on 3 of them. One was a field goal and 2 touchdowns, I guess, within the last one. The defense played pretty well, like for what they did. They did have their moments where they kind of crumbled at the end, but they only did that on a couple of drives for the whole game, whereas the offense was putrid almost every drive of the game and only put up 13 points. Like the defense put up more points than the offense did. So, no, I don't feel like you can blame one person or another, but I feel like you can pass more blame to this than that. Like, you're not the entire reason we lost, but man, had you played better, we could have pushed through this type deal. I mean, you can say that about the defense. Like, well, the defense could have played better and could have pushed Teddy Bridgewater's drive through there. The defense played well. They scored more points than Teddy did. I mean, the defense did more than they were supposed to do. It was Teddy that needed to step up and do what he was supposed to do.
Shit, they scored more points than the offense did. If you take away
That's what I'm saying. Teddy should take more blame for the loss than the defense.
Here's the problem. You can't even, like, you can sit there and look at that last drive, right? There is never going to be a situation where you can blame the defense when they scored more points than your offense.
Right.
You cannot. There is not. I put zero blame,
especially
on
when you're
defense.
ahead going into the end. You know, it's not like they gave up 35 and got two scoops and scores in the fourth.
And let's talk about this, right? We wanted to sit here and shit all over PJ Walker last week for his interception in the red zone. Teddy Bridgewater comes out and does it too. And you know what? Like, his decision to throw to DJ Moore in like 5 yards behind him right there, and that it, like, at the end, is just as bad of a decision as PJ Walker's interception was. There's no indifference. It's just a bad read, a bad play, a bad execution. He's not an elite arm talent. Period.
Not even close. Not even close.
Real quick, this guy behind my head, right there, that dude. That's Zach Wilson. That's the future Panthers quarterback, and that's my quarterback as of right now. Because
he looks like a tool, though, bro.
He looks does. Like he's a badass, dude. And you know what? I hope that's our fucking quarterback next year, man.
I agree.
I want the Carolina Panthers. I want the Carolina Panthers to lose every single game. I want Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, good news,
to start
they are.
I want Teddy Bridgewater to start every single game going forward, and let's see what kind of bullshit havoc he can wreak, and just how terrible can he be when we need him to win. And let's go. Right now, I think we're at number 6. We're at number 6 in the draft. And I'll be damned if we don't need a quarterback, dude.
Did the Falcons win today? That helps us. The Falcons winning helps us. All right, 252-228-5098. Let's go ahead and jump into these calls.
What's up, guys? Kyle from VA.
What's up, Kyle?
Heading into work. I didn't get to finish the game, but I saw most of it. Let's talk about Jeremy Chin. Obviously, this guy is if he keeps it this late and, stays healthy, he's a Hall of Famer. And, I mean, this defense is really starting to cook, man. They gave up a touchdown on the first drive and then pretty much blanked the Vikings for the rest of the game until right at the end, because, that's what we do. We always do that shit. But
cardiac cats.
Defense is hitting home. Yep. Teddy, I'm not a Teddy hater, but dude, no. I was on to give Teddy a chance. I'm over it now. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And a decent quarterback, but no. Our offense is capable of so much more with the weapons we have. And PJ Walker showed just a glimpse of what our offense could be with the deep shot. And Teddy can't. When Teddy does throw it downfield, he doesn't hit anybody in stride. It's always behind them. They have to turn completely the fuck around for the ball, stop running. And just the people talking about his completion percentage, like, dude started like shit today, and I mean, it didn't get much better. My fucking completion percentage could be high too if I was throwing 5-yard slants and drag routes, and
that's all he does.
Right.
He did the same he always does.
3 yards.
That's why I'm not even upset.
I'm over that, but I think the future of this team is pretty bright as long as we can just get a quarterback that can stretch the field, and we can keep these defensive pieces we got and keep 52 off the field, because Jermaine Carter just adds energy to his team, to his defense.
And Whitehead just sucks it out like
Shaq
just
can keep up his play.
He sucks it out like a $5 hooker. Go ahead, CK.
So yeah, we wanted to talk about how every pass downfield. What I think is hilarious about why people like Teddy Bridgewater is because they say, like, he does make these passes, right? I don't think I've seen a quarterback make his receivers work harder to catch a ball than Teddy Bridgewater does. Like, he does not make it easy on his receivers. I was sitting there thinking, especially after that dropped bomb to DJ Moore in the end zone, like just horrible placement, like just overthrows it by a good, just way too far, right? And which is something you wouldn't say with Teddy Bridgewater, right? But he's just not accurate on the deep routes. After that, I'm sitting here thinking, even after that Robbie Anderson catch, right, on the sidelines, the fingertips, like all of these guys are having to make spectacular catches in order to actually catch the ball. And then the fact, and then you want to try to put into perspective the touchdown, right? That's all. Basically, Teddy Bridgewater makes his receivers look like elite athletes more than any other quarterback. And it shouldn't be that way. Your quarterback, if he is your franchise quarterback, should make it look easy. Calvin Ridley, like when he catches the ball, it looks easy, right? And I'm not sitting here saying Ryan is the greatest quarterback in the face of the planet, but he's definitely got a better arm than Teddy Bridgewater does. Anyway, I don't know how these receivers can actually sit there and say, I want Teddy Bridgewater as my quarterback, because they've had more excitement in one game than Teddy Bridgewater has given them all year.
Thanks, Kyle, for the call. I agree. Is that like we've been saying, and like Cody has been saying, Bridgewater is who we said he was, and today was just an exact reflection of that. I continue to say this with this team is that, like, we are a team that we can win when everything goes right. You know what I'm saying? Is that we can win when everything goes right. And today was actually one of those days where everything went kind of right on one side or two sides of the balls, and we didn't. And then we didn't win. And I think that this is, and it's very similar. And I don't know, I'm not going to say his name, but the man who cannot be named on this podcast, that was the subject of this podcast for the first 7 years of it, right? Or 8 years, whatever we're in right now. His incompletion percentage at one point was completion percentage was a big focal point of people's discussion, right? Mm-hmm. And in the early seasons, in the first 4 years of his career, the man who cannot be named, is that it was because they were, or part of it, we used to argue, people who were defending would say it's because he's taking low percentage throws, like kind of high risk throws. These deep balls, this stuff like that. You're supposed to go 1 for 3 on those, right?
Right.
The problem that we saw today, and it's just this, is Teddy. We've seen the people who are saying he's been phenomenal. We've seen the best Teddy in many ways this season,
and we've still been losing.
Right? We've seen him that's what you get when he throws 70%. You get those same exact numbers, the same exact game, the same this. Today we saw when you took the one thing away from him that he does well. And that's what he took it away in many ways. You can't hang your hat on the completion percentage in this game. But it's not a different game. It's the same fucking game.
It is, and something else to kind of pinpoint too. Like if now Teddy Bridgewater defenders are essentially saying that what we should be doing is just continuing to add on the defense so that this defense can cover up for a quarterback that doesn't have the ability to win the game for.
We do need to keep adding on defense, yes. But here's the thing is no one in this world believed that if we were going to win a game like today, that would be because the defense won it for us.
I know, but
you know what I'm saying? Like going into the season, like the defense has exceeded expectations.
100%.
It's exceeded expectations. In fact, today was the first day that I am kind of jumping on y'all's train about these young players. Like, I'm starting to see life in this defensive front. Yeah, I'm starting to see. Now, is it turning into just lockdown defense? No, they're not there yet. They don't have the pieces, but they have. Where this defense has come from week 1 to week 12 is far more of an improvement than where the offense has come from week 1 to week 12.
And more than we ever thought that
Yes.
it would.
That was that it should.
Especially after some of our performances earlier, like there was no reason to think that this defense was going to give us a chance to compete. By the way, y'all remember when we almost did everything in our power to beat the defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes.
Like our defense did that, right? Okay, that was a real thing that happened. Like listen, today, I wish nothing more that all four of us could be on this podcast today singing the holy praises of Jeremy Chin, because Jeremy Chin is showing the kind of talent that it's like, oh my God, we have what could be a once-in-a-lifetime defender at the safety position. That's incredible. But instead, the only thing that we really need to be talking about is absolutely how much Teddy Bridgewater is limiting this offense. I put on Twitter, Teddy Bridgewater wouldn't throw a deep ball if it would save a woman tied to a train track with the train coming her way. He just has absolutely no balls. The only time he throws the football,
he's got a giant D, but no balls.
The only time he throws the football down the field and hits is like on third down at the end of the game when you have to have it. And then today he's been inaccurate.
Cody, I think today when it comes to Teddy, we saw two things. I've continued to say on this podcast, there's three components to the Teddy Bridgewater or the Panthers vertical game. It's not speed at a receiver, right? We know that. It's just not that. Like, they're open a lot. They are getting, they're fine. But it's been offensive line, Teddy Bridgewater's arm, and Teddy Bridgewater's nature of conservatism. Over the last 5 games, I thought it was Teddy being conservative. Today, I think it was apparent that it was both arm talent and his conservative nature. He looks fantastic on play action until he has to throw it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, that looks exactly what play action is supposed to look. You hand it off, you look around, you do this, and then you go boom, 2 yards.
You know what's funny about Teddy Bridgewater is, let me challenge you. What is Teddy Bridgewater's strength?
He can hit a guy 3 yards.
Not turning the ball over. I would say turnovers.
No,
I would say interception.
Not turning the ball over. He's
how many has he got on the season? He's not ridiculous.
Interception ratio is what is it, 14 to 7 now?
But just volume of interceptions.
No, here's my point. Is everybody would say the dink and dunk. His strength is getting the ball to a wide receiver out in the flat, out in the open. He still misses those guys. He still underthrows or overthrows or puts them in a position where they have to make an acrobatic catch. He's not good at the short. He is not good at the long. I think the best is the maybe across the middle. That's the best I've seen.
Is it fair to say that maybe Teddy Bridgewater, that we've even seen him regress? Because I would say earlier in the season, I mean, literally that's what he was doing well. And that's what I would have said, that the one thing that Teddy Bridgewater does well is distribute the football and get the ball to receivers open in space. But now he's not even doing that. That's what I'm saying. Now the coaches have to take a level of blame, because even though you have PJ Walker, who threw 2 red zone interceptions last week, we have a quarterback that can move the ball around the field, that can be mobile outside the pocket. Teddy Bridgewater is only mobile when he's scrambling for a first down. But you see, they never roll the pocket out. They never roll it to the left or roll it to the right to try and stymie the blitz. They never do anything like that because Teddy Bridgewater can't do that. So going forward, man, listen, if ever you hear Matt Rule or fucking whoever telling you that we're going to go out there and give our best effort and try and win every single game, well, listen, understand that behind the scenes, they're saying some very different shit if they continue to put Teddy Bridgewater on the field and then tell you that they're trying to win football games. I don't fucking buy it anymore. Which, by the way, I'm happy with, because that dude behind my big-ass cripple head, I want him to be on the football team next year. So I hope it happens. That's what I'm saying. I hope he starts every single fucking game, because he gives us the best chance to lose. Point blank, period.
Look, I told y'all before we started the show that I was taking the gloves off, that I just don't care anymore. I've been trying to defend Teddy Bridgewater and but I just don't care anymore. I'm just, you know what? Teddy's not the guy, and I'm saying it. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Come at me. I'll throw stats at you. You can't argue this point.
You know
because it's not true. But speaking of me taking the gloves off, what if Teddy took the gloves off? What if Teddy took his gloves off and he ended up being like Patrick Mahomes? Like that was his problem, was that he has
that was his
gloves
one
on.
Or maybe he just takes one glove off. Like take one glove off and see what happens. Maybe it's an issue of that. What I was gonna say is, with the idea of defending Teddy Bridgewater, you said, you're prepared to say he's not the guy. The funny thing is the people that are defending Teddy Bridgewater all agree he's not the guy. Like nobody has come to the table and said that he's the guy.
Yeah.
Like nobody has. They're just trying to defend him because he's a Panthers player. That's it. That's the bottom line.
That's
like even T Money, who is constantly in here talking, like trying to say Teddy Bridgewater is the greatest. He constantly in Twitter is like, we just know he's a bridge until we get the next guy. It's all every time. Yeah. And I'm like, that's all we've been saying. Is he is not like the worst quarterback in the world, but he is not a franchise guy. And honestly, in a lost season like we are right now, you should put PJ in, put somebody in who has a higher ceiling, give him an opportunity to show that he's able to do something special.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Bridgewater's had plenty of opportunities and proved he's not able to do that.
I fucking hate Tyreek Hill. I'm playing a guy in fantasy today, and he has Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce.
Damn. Can I listen?
Like I'm like, you motherfucker, man. Like, and any other time I would say that's overload, but on that team, can we go to the next call, Cody?
Yes. But I want to say one more thing, dude. The one of the reasons that I'm so fucking mad today, it's not just because Teddy Bridgewater is who we thought he was. Like, yeah, today's not a surprise for anyone on this show, dude. What really pisses me off is that DJ Moore got hurt today. And let's add some context to that. DJ Moore is the kind of player that people have been wanting to criticize, saying, oh, he's not a good talent. Oh, he doesn't come down with the ball. He's not a number one wide receiver. Well, yet DJ Moore was wide open in the back of the end zone, and Teddy Bridgewater threw it to his left, and the adjustment that he made got him injured. It got him injured, and that's probably the end of the season for DJ Moore. So, yeah, that Teddy Bridgewater energy, that's a vibe right now, bro. Like, I feel that. I know I'm being irrational. I don't give a damn, man. Like, this one feels worse than every other one this year for me because it came at the cost of DJ Moore.
I want to bring up some comments in the chat room. Elusive Proximity, I think, is making a good point about this, is that Phil Snow and this defense weren't unable to close out the game, regardless of what we saw on the offensive side. Now, getting the ball on the 9 and not coming away basically with anything. 3 points, I felt like it was like a loss right there. He asked about Brian Burns. Where was he at today? Pointing out that he was dropping back into coverage, pointing to Phil Snow stuff. The other thing that I saw, one other comment, somebody brought up Cam in the comments. Cam would have cried. That's what it said. It said something like Cam would have cried.
Lord, bye-bye Teddy West.
Cam just went and beat the damn Cardinals today. Like, I'm not saying he beat them alone.
3-game winning streak.
Yeah, come on. All right, next call. 252-228-50.
We don't even have to mention Cam Newton. Not once did we mention him. It's only the people that can't say shit to us when we tell the truth about Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy saw. All right, 252-228-5098.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? First of all, let's get it out of the way. Fucking Joey Sly. God fucking damn it. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. We shouldn't even be in that goddamn position. Our defense played fucking well enough to win that game. Jeremy Chin played well. Our defensive line played well. Cornelder's trash, but we've known that for a while. That's fucking bullshit. You know what? It all comes back to the fucking offense. That game shouldn't have even been close, okay? Outside of the offensive line and Ian Thomas, every goddamn person on the offense has improved except for Teddy Bridgewater. He has gotten worse every single week. He had 2 wide open touchdown passes, missed them. DJ Moore injured him. What a piece of shit. We should have won this game easy. P.J. Walker could have made those throws. P.J. Walker's problems are fixable. As we've said, Teddy Bridgewater, we know who he is, and he's fucking trash. I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch the defense get put down like this every week. You know, usually I think about it before I call, but this is just pure emotion. I'm watching this fucking replay. Jesus Christ, Joey Fly. But it doesn't even matter.
This is the call
This
of
is the little
century.
mistakes, and just, I don't even blame the defense for the last drive. I would be afraid if two of my offense didn't give a fuck. And the worst part is, everybody's going to look at his stats. Oh, 250 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Oh, a good game. But he played like fucking trash. DJ Moore could have, oh my God, they should have won this game 35 to fucking 15. It should have been nothing. But no. By the way, all y'all saying, oh, Joe
so
Brady
good.
isn't like that. Shut the fuck up. Anybody who can make Teddy Bridgewater seem like more than a game manager in the eyes of the media is a fucking genius. At the beginning of the game, like, oh, Teddy's more than a game manager. He's a real leader. He's a real quarterback. Does a real quarterback throw a fucking interception on the 5-yard line? He can't do goddamn shit. And also, Phil Snow, we all knew it. We all knew it. Fuck anybody who hated on him. We all know what's up. This defense isn't bad. They're just young. They're missing a few key pieces. All right? They're going to be good in a few years. But Jesus Christ, Kyle Allen, Taylor Heinicke, injured Cam Newton. I need a goddamn quarterback who can throw down the field. I can't watch this anymore.
Amen.
That's like a top 5 call in the history. No, he did not say his name that I heard. And second, I think that he would be a great co-host for Cody's podcast.
Dude, it's not even fun anymore, man. I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if that's on me or not. But listen,
I'm hearing an echo
dude,
too.
it's like, dude, I put this on Twitter, man. It's not even fun to watch the Panthers anymore. This team that I love, this team that I absolutely love, they'll do cool shit. Brian Burns will be incredible. Jeremy Chin will be amazing. And then they'll fucking do this shit where I'm angry as hell when I'm actively trying to lose, and then I'm still so fucking mad at the end of these football games, man. Meanwhile, I'm watching Josh Allen and Justin Herbert duel these two incredible young quarterbacks, and it's like, dude, it's a knife in my fucking neck, bro. It sucks. Caller, you didn't say your name, but dude, that was an incredible call. I feel it, man. I absolutely feel it. It sucks and it doesn't fucking feel good. And you don't have to dupe yourself into believing that it should.
That was one of my favorite calls of all time.
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
Dom 3240. Is that?
No, he's saying that to me right now. Like he's just saying the emotions. I think that's what Dom's saying. Yeah,
I got you.
I think honestly at this point, I think we could just say ditto and move to the next one because I think everything is going to be about how bad
Let's do it.
Hey, podcast brothers, how y'all doing?
What's up, G?
I'm fucking pissed, man. I'm gonna say this right now. Fuck Joey Slide, man. You got one motherfucking job. One daggone job. You know what I'm saying?
This is fair.
One damn job, man.
Yep.
And you missed the daggone field goal, man.
Yep.
You missed
What
fucking
he's supposed to be able to hit.
Come on, man. For the love of God, man. Get rid of this
He was off all
motherfucker.
day.
I said that shit.
Which I thought he missed that other
A while
one.
back I said
I did
shit,
too.
man. Teddy, he started off poorly, but Teddy Bridgewater played an all right game. I ain't gonna lie. Robbie Anderson finally got him a damn touchdown, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Again, since week 1, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think our defense held up pretty good. In the fourth quarter, man, you let Minnesota draw that ball down, man. That was some bullshit, man. That was some bullshit. We should have won this motherfucking game. We should have won this damn game, man.
Drop the hammer on
hell,
Teddy.
Man.
Drop it.
Joey Slide, you got one motherfucking job, man. One. To kick a daggone field. I swear, man, this dude chokes too damn much, man.
Yeah,
he really does. He really does, man. Give me your thoughts on that, y'all. Keep pounding.
I mean, I think we all agree. Like Joey Slide could have definitely made that, but again, you know, as with everything, you know, that shouldn't have been down to his foot. That shouldn't have been on him.
Well, we had a block kick. There was a block kick. This was a funky
he missed
game.
one that was a block kick.
You mentioned that in the call. It's an odd game for Joey Slide. Like it just seemed something was not right. He has been, I think, for some reason, been under a lot of pressure. You can see it. There's kind of a like he's the hook. He's hooking. It's almost like he's trying too hard. I don't know what it is, but he missed that. He had one blocked, and I swear the one that they gave us
said that
3
he got was far.
I'm pretty sure that was not a field
I don't
goal.
think it was even close. I'm surprised that they called it.
It did not look like it to me. So I do think that that's reasonable, right? Is that if you come out here and you try to say that Joey Sly is off the hook, then that's not fair, right? He does have one job.
He does. Yeah.
It was a 52-yarder. You should make that. We should win that. And argue. And in some ways, I think the person that's happiest that he missed it is Cody. If we win that, if he makes that kick, it almost covers up some of these warts with makeup.
Hey,
these blemishes.
Did y'all see Dave Gettleman paid Graham Gano another contract to stay the kicker for the Giants? Apparently,
I don't care about none of that.
Apparently, he's been really fucking good this year. I tell you what, I don't
give a fuck about Graham Gano. He sucks at that. I
remember a pretty famous Spanish call about a certain kicker kicking a 60-something yard to win the football game.
An inconsequential game. It would have been just as inconsequential as this game.
I tell you what, I would have trusted Graham Gano to make that kick more than I would Joey fucking Sly. Like, I'm gonna be real with. Listen, if y'all want me to spread the blame around, fine. Let's fucking spread the blame around.
Why do we gotta love on Gano? That's my point. Who gives a fuck about Graham Gano? I don't care about Graham Gano. He sucks.
Joey Sly has now had 3 opportunities to be a hero.
No, one. He's had one. He's had one. You can't count a 63 as 67 opportunity.
Come on, dude.
Well, somebody mentioned that in the chat earlier. That maybe the reason why Joey Sly is feeling the pressure is because you can go back to almost every game we've lost this year, and you can blame it on Joey Sly and or Teddy Bridgewater. Like they've been the two people who have pretty much you can pinpoint. Had you done this the way you were supposed to, we would have won this game.
You know who they should hate more than anybody else? You know who Joey Sly should hate more than anyone else? It's Teddy Bridgewater. Because they don't trust Teddy Bridgewater's arm to throw the ball downfield for a Hail Mary.
Right.
Instead, they would rather go for an NFL
67 in wind.
Yeah.
By the way, how about that 4th and 1 where they tried to bait him offside and they didn't trust his offense to get a yard when they were in the red zone.
True that.
That's something we haven't talked about yet.
Can we talk about the play clock? The play clock continues to be game management. I swear to God that we should have had 2 delay of game penalties called on us today that we got away with. Like it was at zeros and they let them go. I would say if I was the other team and that was my defense out there, I would have been screaming.
Yeah, I noticed that too. 2 or 3 times that happened in this game where I saw the clock go to 0, and then it was like seconds later, like 3.
It felt like it was like enough time to throw a flag.
And I was like, "What the hell is this?"
And I don't like to be like, I'm not cheering for the refs to call shit on us, but if I was that defense, it just felt weird. I don't know what's going on. Is that Joe Brady being on the sideline? Teddy Bridgewater with all this dissecting this and that, and being whatever. He flirts with that play clock too much.
Yeah.
But by the way, I don't know. Listen, I'll say this. I don't understand the people that blame Phil Snow for working with what he has, and then people want to get on Joe Brady for bad play calls. Yet Joe Brady, he knows what kind of quarterback he has. Every single time he calls a play, he tells you who he thinks Teddy Bridgewater is.
I agree. And that's why I've not been critical of him.
If Joe Brady had his say-so, he probably would put P.J. Walker in over Teddy Bridgewater.
He brought in Teddy. That's his fault. He's got to deal with it.
That too. That is his fault too.
That's on Brady. That ain't Matt Rule going, "Oh, I feel a connection with them."
I think he had to find out the hard way that Teddy Bridgewater fucking, he didn't.
I think Teddy Bridgewater is a college football player. Like he would be great in college right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he had a basic at Louisville.
Wait, he was. They had a pretty prolific offense, but it works in college. It works in college. It does. Go look up his stats in Louisville. He won't know slub.
I don't know if they were, yeah.
All right, 252-228-5098.
Yo, C3, the skill well from South Carolina.
What's up, my man?
What y'all think about Farrah Cooper with these punt returns, man? I think he's slow, man. I think he's way too slow. We might need to put Trent Cannon back there for punt return and kick return because Farrah Cooper, you go catch the ball, but you're not running after the catch on punt returns, man. It might be
I'm just happy he's catching the ball.
Yeah, he has not been. He looked good to start the season, but it's just been he's been inconsequential as we go throughout the season. I think you've seen. I don't know if it was because he's been injured, but there have been some games where he's not the returner, right? And the cannon guy, I tell you, he gets shot out of a cannon every time he runs the ball. I like him. I agree. It's like it's one of those things. Is Farrah Cooper? The only good thing is he hasn't gotten us negative, right? And we've seen negative in that game.
I kind of find that he slips a lot. Does anyone else? Like, I find that whenever he's fielding a punt, like there's a 40% chance that he might slip and just eat shit and not even.
Well, that
take
last
it out
one was
anyway.
Rodney Smith. That last punt return. I don't know why they did that. Yeah, that last one.
I don't know, man. Like, listen, it's hard for me to falter. I mean, I know you're talking specifically about punt return and Farrah Cooper, but dude, our special teams, I think, has been playing pretty well the past few weeks, and we recovered a muffed punt right by the red zone today. So even our defense and our special teams were doing a bunch of shit to help out our offense, and our offense still couldn't.
Was that offsides on Justin Burris?
I don't know.
The extra point. We blocked the extra point to be that shit was. I mean, that was 2020. My wife said this, and she wants me to say it on the podcast, so I'm going to say it. Is that if 2020 was a football game, it would have been this Panthers at Vikings game. We blocked the extra point to tie it, to keep it tied. I don't think it, man. I don't know if that was offsides. Burris was right on the money. After having an up and down game, I would tell you I knew that this defense was primed, was ready to play. In the first quarter, Trey Boston made a devastating tackle. I was like, oh shit, it is on. Trey Boston tackling mugs like that? These guys are ready. And then they were on the field a lot today. Let's put it that way. They were on the field a lot today. Our offense did not have, I mean, and in some ways that was a creation of their own fault. You know, when you scoop and score, you give them the ball back again. I think I'm with Cody, though. I'm not ready to criticize any of the coaching at this point. I'm ready
I think you can criticize the coaching a little bit.
Okay. I mean, we can dissect things. And yes, can we do some different things? But I feel like we're on an even keel trajectory with the coaching. Like, it's just going up and up and up. If anything, I would just say Phil Snow's charging up these young boys. They're playing better than we expected. Better than we expected on defense. And maybe I have rose-colored glasses on because we scored 2 defensive touchdowns. And it is the Vikings. Let's remember that. We did lose to a bad team today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad team. Don't forget that. This was not the Chiefs, by the way, who are blowing out the Buccaneers right now.
Hold on, Bad Daddy. Didn't you tell me that the Vikings had some stat they were the worst home defense in the NFL or something?
33 points a game, worst home defense. So they're technically better than the Lions that we beat the shit out of last week.
Yeah, and
worse than the Lions.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, the Panthers are a get right game for a lot of teams, man. And look, and that's
not for the Lions. We've gotten 2 coaches fired this year, homie.
PJ Walker got that motherfucker fired, bro. PJ
All right, let's keep
Walker
going with these calls. We got $1 billion. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. We got to get 252-228-5098.
Hey, guys, this is Chuck calling from Elizabeth City. I normally don't call in the middle of the game, and I hope I don't jinx it, but I swear to you, When is the last time you've ever seen a defensive player score 2 touchdowns in a row? I'm
There it is.
just
He
excited
jinxed
with
it.
the double chin.
It's
I haven't seen
never
any
happened.
whiteheads on the face of the defense today. And I
happened
start talking about this Zach Kerr kid. Wow, where'd he come from? He's playing excellent.
I love
I'm
him.
hoping I haven't really jinxed it on this call, but I had to just call you guys during the middle of this game and say how pumped I am about our defense.
It's okay, though.
I wonder how he feels now.
Man, yeah.
Nah, man, he's brought great calls 2 or 3
has.
weeks in a row now. So, nah, you didn't. First of all, the single call does not affect it. But, yeah, it kind of did. Second, I would say is that I do believe this is that while that other dude did it in 1943 on one day earlier, that's just in one game.
Another guy did it in 1920. So.
Jeremy Chin did it on consecutive plays. We scored 14 points in 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey,
think about this: is we scored 14 points in 11 seconds. We had more offense from our defense than we did in 2 quarters in the first half.
In the entire game.
Just look at how many tackles Chin had, by the way, because he is definitely the first person in NFL history to have over 10 tackles and 2 turnovers in the game, and have those 2 turnovers happen to be touchdowns.
Probably.
Insane. Great day by Chin.
Oh, well. Story of the game. Offense sucked. Defense. By the way, the chin check is going to Jeremy Chin. I think it has to be universal. You can't give it to anybody else.
I'm going to give it to Kerr.
It's absolutely forbidden. Who's done that in NFL history? No one. That's who. No one. But none of that matters because at the end of the day, we suck.
You know that last
on field goal, Daddy.
No, that last possession we had the ball.
Yeah.
It was horrible play calling.
Look, this is a father-son call right here.
Sounds like.
Yeah. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Dad, speed
but
it
you
up.
Got Christmas coming.
We do have Christmas coming.
And we got the Broncos, and the Broncos don't even have a quarterback.
All right, Joey, I'm fast forwarding to the round.
Cap gun. Guess what I like watching?
He didn't even do the round. Oh, I'm icing you up, homie.
How about a cameo from Papa Esquivel?
I know. Way to go,
shout
Papa.
Out to Papa, man.
All right, 252-228-5098. 96 viewers, biggest show, biggest post game of the year. That shows you. I tell you, I've been saying this, is that our numbers, downloads have gone down. Not that we have like the biggest downloaded podcast. We are the longest running podcast, Panther fans, because we get up here and we talk about the Panthers no matter what. We're good, bad, indifferent. We're up here every week, Tuesday night, live, 9 p.m. after every game, dropping extra videos, dropping these clips of Cody Lashney bitching about the world, all of those things. That's what we do. But I tell you this, is that people don't like a team that's just what we like, pretty good.
Yeah.
People like to talk about teams that are really good and teams that are really bad. Look at this, 94 people watching after a kind of shit show loss at the end. So why don't you other 23 people smash the thumbs up button and help us out and get Panther Nation growing, whether it's a good day, a bad day, or an indifferent day. 252-228-5098.
What's going on, C3 Nation?
Yo, what's up, my man?
Jay Anderson.
What's up, Jay?
Hitting y'all up. I have no emotions for this. I have no, like I said before, I have no emotions for this season. But, I get to enjoy it, a good game. It was a good game. Joey Slide, he missed that field goal. Like, bruh, I really don't think he's going to be back here. I really don't think he's gonna be back in next year, man.
I could see us drafting a kicker.
Man, I tell you what, man. Oh, Jeremy Chin, that dude, boy.
Yep.
Jeremy Chin is. It's a damn shame the media ain't gonna. He should be the defensive rookie of the year. He should be, but the media, they don't pay attention to Carolina Panthers like that. You got to basically, and he got the stats to prove it. But they're so in love with Chase Young and stuff like that. He leading the league in sacks. They so love him. So it's sad that he won't get that recognition and stuff like that. But gotta give credit to Teddy. He led them. He come off rusty, so I give him a slide. He coming off rusty and stuff like that. But he led them to the on that last drive to be in position. Joey Slide, he just didn't make the field goal. But one thing I do got, he did miss DJ on that other position. He did miss DJ.
He hurt DJ.
And the other deep pass he missed DJ on. And I don't want to hear they aren't on the same page.
He'll be all right. But, y'all go ahead that. Have a good show, man. I'll let y'all boys later. All right.
Thanks,
right.
Jay Anderson. Shout out to Carl Van, too, for the super chat. He said, "What's up, Cam Sexuals? You know it, brother." Tipping my cap to my man and his Aztec outfit today. He said, "Can we give Cousins some credit, though? The dude was on fire."
No.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Your cousin was I hate your cousin.
He had a Teddy Bridgewater game.
No, he did not. Nah, man. He's a Brett Favre. He's like a Brett. He's like a Brett Favre. The only problem with Cousins is that it's just bad sometimes.
It's infinitely better.
Yeah.
He had a much better game than Teddy Bridgewater had today.
But Cousins is not bad. He's not awful. He is kind of like a poor man's Matt Stafford, except for he gets paid more money.
Okay, he did have a much better game.
Real quick,
sorry, much better.
I wanted to highlight some comments in our chat. So even though I wasn't on last Tuesday's show, I did see the fake Brandon Herbert call.
Oh, was that not the best shit in the world?
It was incredible. Yeah, so by the way, shout out to Moneybags Lawson, because that was him that made the call.
No, it was not.
Yeah, that was Moneybags Lawson.
He's my hero, bro.
And if it isn't, he's in the chat room taking credit for it. So
hey, I don't care. Take it.
I believe you, Moneybag. I'm on Team Lawson. And by the way, it is noted, I have now seen a couple people saying they want me to do a quarterback podcast and start talking about these quarterbacks. So
yeah, one guy said so he could have good dreams, and so I think we gotta wait
until after the season for that. Give us some off-season content.
I was thinking so Cody could have dreams.
Say again?
That guy said he wants you to do the podcast so he could have good dreams. I think if Cody did that podcast, he would have wet dreams. You would.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'd enjoy every blissful second of it, man. But I will say that this year, I normally don't start looking at any college players until after the season's done. But dude, man, after watching Teddy Bridgewater this year, I have watched more quarterback film of college football players this year than I have any other year, man. And I have so many thoughts. So, but I hear those requests, and we're gonna cook something up. That's a promise.
I did. All right. First of all, I will say this is Moneybags. It was the best call in the history of the show. Number one. It was like, first of all, it was a good impression. A.
Yeah.
And B, it was at a perfect moment. And C, it's just so fucking true. And on top of that, today, and to call homie out again, the very first tweet, I opened up Twitter when the game starts. I have been my computer. I updated a driver, guys, at 12:40 for my video card, and it fucked everything up. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was able to get it fixed, like to roll back the driver, thank Jesus. but I missed the first 2 minutes of the game, like minute and a half. Like I was working on the computer. I was like, shit, the show's not going to go down. So I turned the game on. I'm all stressed out over my computer. I'm stressed out of trying to get the game to work. My TV's slow. Everything's slow in my life. I'm like fucking stressed as fuck. Open Twitter up, and the first tweet I see is Brandon Herbert going, "What the fuck is going on with Teddy Bridgewater?" And I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, you shut the fuck up, A. And B. And then the next tweet, I said, today? That's what I only wrote back, today, ? And the first thing he said was, I'm tired. He said, I'm tired of y'all people or something. He goes, and I'm the only unbiased person in the world. And y'all don't know anything about football. It was like the exact same statement. I'm unbiased. You don't know anything about football. Teddy Bridgewater's been great. Number one, folks, if you say you're unbiased, nobody on this podcast has ever said they're unbiased. Right? And is that, here's the thing. If you're a human, you have a certain, we cannot be fully objective. It's like, it's outside of our 100%. Ability. Any person that says they are fully objective and you aren't, they're the fucking suspicious one. Like my kids say in that game that y'all play, sus. That kid's sus. That kid's sus. Anytime someone says I'm unbiased, they sus. Right? And second of all, you got to go into hiding, Herbert. You got to go into hiding after a day like today. 252-228-5098.
Well, it's Kyle again from VA, and I'm calling again because I just saw that we managed to lose the fucking game somehow. I think it's a curse. Well, I left.
Cardiac
and
cat.
There was just over 2 minutes left. How in the fuck? It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. I seen what I wanted to see from this defense for the most part. I didn't get to see him fucking collapse apparently, and Slide just fucking going missing. Just not a good game for him. The one that they called that was inside, I'm still not sure about, but they gave it to us, so we got a break there, but not a good game for Sly. And I think I heard that Teddy was limping. Hope he's all right, but I've seen everything I need to see from him. Let P.J. Walker play the rest of this season. You put $63 million into Teddy, and he's getting hurt. Sit him for the rest of the fucking season. See what you got in P.J. Walker. I can't believe he lost. That's crazy. That's the Carolina Panthers shit for you right there.
All right, here's where I don't think, this is why I don't think that's going to happen. And I actually, thanks for the call, man, Kyle and VA. I don't think it's even the right idea. Oh, controversial take.
Yeah.
On this podcast, I don't think the right idea is to go with PJ Walker and see what you got. I think and Matt Rule said this in a press conference recently when he was talking about a decision about picking between PJ Walker and Will Grier. He said, I know who these guys are. Like, if I got to play these games to figure out who they are, I got a problem. It's kind of, I felt like he was intimating there. I think we know what we got with Teddy Bridgewater. I think we know what we have with PJ Walker. And I think if the real ultimate thing is on this trajectory right now, if some way we find ourselves in a position to get ourselves a quarterback in the first round of the draft, I think Teddy Bridgewater is the perfect guy to have for him to sit behind. And I do think that that's a reasonable thing to believe, is that, look, we got to pay Teddy anyway. You need to bring in this rookie quarterback in a situation that sets him up for success rather than throws him to the wolves, AK, kind of like with the Bengals situation. I'm not saying the Bengals should have done something different. I would just, if whoever we get, I would very much compare it to the Chargers situation. And that is that you don't have to start him from day one, but if the opportunity comes about and the moment is right and he's looking good in the room, then you can put him in. And I think that that's a perfect way to handle it. So I think we just kind of, and I think even Cody said this, is just start Teddy Bridgewater for the rest of the season.
Well, go first, Greg, and then I want to ask Tony something after you.
Yeah, because quick question, because Tony, your reason for that was because if you wanted to move forward the quarterback, you want Bridgewater as the guy that can be there to kind of guide that guy. Well, I get that because he has experience, but he's obviously not a great quarterback. So one, why would you want him to guide that guy? And two, even if you did take him out as being the starting quarterback this year, he'll still be on the team next year.
Well, yes. One is that let me respond to that, and I'll turn the mic over to you, Cody. There's two things I need to say about that. One is that if you really just put that stamp on it, then Teddy can't be a mentor next year. If you take him out and you say, well, he's on the team next year, right? It's like he's going to be here no matter what. He can't be a guiding mentor when you've already fucking put him in the corner. Second, when it comes to him not being a good quarterback, it's not that mentally he's not a good quarterback. It's not this. Is that a lot of this is based on physical limitation. So is that him teaching teaching how to read defenses, teaching how to do these things. Sometimes I have a friend, and I'm a teacher, so this is offensive to me. I have a friend that says this: those who can't do, teach.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, yeah, there is some credence to that, but what was one of the main criticisms of Ron Rivera when he was here? That he would always play the older guys just because they were the older guys. How about this? I don't want to give the quarterback position to anyone. Why are we opposed to having a quarterback competition? I said let them compete for the starting job and let the best man win. I'm no longer on this train that, what you should do is take a quarterback and sit them and make sure that they're ready. But
it's worked in a lot of cases.
Let me finish. I have seen so many quarterbacks in recent years start their first season as a rookie and light the NFL on fire, or at least look competent. I can talk about Deshaun Watson. I can talk about Kyler Murray. I could talk about we can continue to do this. Like, there are quarterbacks that have a level of success because these high school quarterbacks, they're more prepared going into college than they ever have been with these Elite 11 quarterback competitions. These young guys are more ready for the NFL than they ever have been before. If we draft a quarterback, listen, Teddy Bridgewater needs to prove that he's worth the money that we signed him for. If he wants to be the starter mentor on this football team, then he needs to beat him out in practice. And that's as far as it goes for me, man.
Let me respond to it. Is that first, I don't think that no one thinks that PJ Walker is really the future, though.
No.
That's the first point. The reason that I say this is let us find out what we got with PJ Walker is another way of saying this is that let us find out that neither of these guys are the guys that are going to get a big money deal with the Panthers. The second thing when it comes to is I'm okay, Cody. I have no problem with starting the rookie if you can and if you should. But there is something valuable to drafting that beautiful player at the 6th, the 7th. We don't have Trevor Lawrence or this or that. We're not going to get them.
That dude.
And not
that dude right there.
No, yeah, say that. But not having to put everything on him from day one when they're not ready. If they are ready, well, fine. If you think that but there are cases, look, Patrick Mahomes is a great example of this. Is that, and I'm not saying you have to mentor him in this fashion. Not saying that. I'm just saying you don't have to. We don't need to cut Teddy and draft a quarterback. It's just like Teddy, This is what we brought you here for. You got about 3 games and 2 interceptions or an injury, and then this kid's coming in after he's seen you in the meetings a little bit more. I just think it's a little hard. Dave Gettleman always said use free agency to set up the draft. He didn't do it. Unfortunately, but I don't feel like forcing this rookie quarterback from start to day one is the best case scenario all the time.
Do you understand that? I meant like if it drafted. So PJ Walker, we're on the same page. Like, listen, I understand that they can't play PJ Walker after paying Teddy Bridgewater the money that they did.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand that.
That's a pride thing. That's not a wanting to win thing.
It's a little bit of both. Let's be honest. It's a little bit of both.
Well, it's probably just admitting that neither is going to be the answer.
Well, I do think it could be, but a lot of it also says to me, based off of the evidence, that PJ Walker gave a new element of fire to this offense that Teddy Bridgewater hasn't. It even caused our defense to play better, and we pitched a shutout, dude. So I do agree that
I don't disagree with that at all.
It is some pride, man, because they listen. If Cam Newton sucks right now, it's whatever, man. Blame it on the receivers or him, whatever. They made a conscious decision that they were going to pay this guy to be our quarterback.
The safe option. The safe option. Man, that's what they thought. They thought it was the safe option. Right? And it's not. And it hasn't. It's not necessarily been. I think I'm trying to support you here, by the way.
And true. And by the way, like, what knowledge and information would you want Teddy Bridgewater to impart to a young guy anyway? He rarely ever comes off of his first read.
Exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't throw the ball. He's the only advice
I'm telling you, those who can't do teach, man.
If you have a check down in the flat, make sure you toss that bad boy. Like, come on.
No, those who can't do teach, man. He knows what to do, but because he can't do it, don't hold it against him because he can't do it.
I'm all for it, man. Maybe he can be.
Like, think about it. Think about how many. Tell me this: how many Hall of Famers? How many Hall of Famers are coaches?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really think about it. Is that elite? Like, those people, there's a different skill set to a teacher. And I'm not saying Teddy Bridgewater's it. I don't know him. I have no idea. I just feel like that obviously you got to pay him no matter what. There's no way we're going to draft a rookie quarterback, right? At the 6th round pick, whoever you get, say you pick a quarterback, that you're going to keep him, Teddy, and PJ. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's easy. You just get rid of PJ in that situation because you've already paid Teddy.
And it sucks, but that's the reality of it.
Well, let me ask you, though, seriously, I think it also comes down to the talent of the quarterback. Do you really think, really think, if Pat Mahomes didn't start behind Alex Smith or Russell Wilson didn't start behind Luke Wilson or Russell Wilson, or excuse me, Matt Flynn, that they wouldn't be elite quarterbacks right now? That do you think that Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have a touchdown or an MVP right now in year 3 if he started year 1 instead of Alex Smith? Because I don't
know. I do think that confidence is a big deal.
I don't think Alex Smith made him an elite player.
No. I think there's 2 things to factor in here, Greg, though, that aren't about. It's not about Teddy teaching him necessarily. It's about him stepping into a better opportunity, whoever that rookie is. And I think there's 2 things that come into this. Is number 1 is that the situation isn't fucking putrid. So a kid that's already kind of learning the NFL, potentially overwhelmed no matter what it is, right? Even under the best circumstances, is first day on the job, right? Imagine your first day on the job and you go into the most perfect job. It's still kind of difficult. Right. But first day on the job and it's the worst fucking experience in your life and it's a shit show. I think that's a problem. I think the other thing is I do think there's a realness to breaking players. And if you guys don't believe it, I want to call y'all out because a lot of y'all have said this is Sam Darnold not a good quarterback anymore? Is these guys, you know what? Is that they almost are broken. And a guy, it's a mental break. And you don't want that to happen. I don't know how much you should take that into account. I'm not saying you should be paralyzed by it, but I saw the Derek Carr, right? Derek Carr, which is the one that, that motherfucker was good. He was good, and then he got sacked 90 times in Houston, and that motherfucker was never the same again.
Yeah, you mean David Carr. Hey, David I want to add to this story that we have going here. But I want to add to this real quick. Teddy Bridgewater being interviewed after the game. Bridgewater says his arm isn't good. When asked about the missed throw to DJ Moore, he says, "We have to be better from top to bottom." Also says that they had to rush the play, and if they had more time, he thinks they would have been able to execute.
They have the same amount of time every fucking time.
So
that makes me hate him more.
I know. I agree. I'm with you.
How about this? Teddy Bridgewater couldn't hit the G spot on a 12-pound pussy. That's what fucking Teddy Bridgewater is, dude.
I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing that G spot's the size of that thing you slammed the sledgehammer on.
But then you're not even going to take fucking responsibility for your fucking throw? Dude, fuck Teddy Bridgewater, man. Bro, that honestly pisses me the fuck off. That he refuses to even take responsibility and even say, yeah, that was my bad, dude. That throw was behind him. That was my bad.
Cam in that situation says, I need to be better than that. And he has this year.
Put it on himself. All the time Cam Newton took the blame, even when it wasn't his fucking fault. Cam Newton would take the blame. Dude, fuck Teddy Bridgewater, man. I cannot be happy about the success of this football team if Teddy Bridgewater is the quarterback. And that's just the fucking truth, man. If it makes me a bad fan, then that's what the fuck I am, dude.
I don't want to hear this. J-Dub, I love you. J-Dub in the chat, you're my man. Like always, my man rolls with C3 from the beginning, so it's not a personal thing. But let's not put this on the offensive line. We ran the ball fine. They were fine. They were fine. Can they be better? Yes. No way. But let's not. No, yeah. 252-228-5098. Have we heard this call? You
well,
whenever we
Kyle
were.
again from VA, and
we heard this one, right?
Again.
What's up, C3 Podcast? Hope you fellas are doing good. Hope you're
my man's
enjoying
whispering.
Thanksgiving. And I really hate that whatever emotional high you guys were on after this wonderful Thanksgiving was finally ruined and shredded to pieces by the Carolina Panthers. Okay, so a few things here. This is Rule 4. This is from Twitter. Okay, getting into this game. Man, quarters 1 through 3 was exciting to watch. The defense play. I think those fire Phil Snow people, and Phil Snow isn't the answer people, were really quiet, and they really had reason to come out in the fourth quarter. But quarters 1 through 3, that defense played just as well as you could expect for a defense to play with the pieces that they had. Yeah, Jeremy Chan, I mean, it's really nothing to say there. Like, dude is about to be a legend already in his first year. Like, it's crazy. He is really one of the cornerstones of this defense I'm excited about building around moving forward. Now, this loss is just really unacceptable. Like, I really, at this point, I am so sick and tired of repeating the same thing. It's like screaming in a room full of reverb. Like, it's, what I'm saying is echoing back into my own ears and it's hurting at this point. Teddy Bridgewater is not a quarterback that you build around in the future. This dude is, I mean, it's terrible. And now he has possibly got DJ Moore hurt off of just a errant throw. Like, I don't understand how much more wide open the guy has to be to complete the easiest touchdown. And then that wasn't even the only one that he missed today. He missed them wide open earlier. I think it was the first or the second quarter maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it is absolutely unacceptable for you to pay a quarterback $63 million for him to not even put up more points than a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Chin alone put up more points
than Teddy Bridgewater.
And then, not only on top of the defense spotting him 14 points, the special teams come down and puts him in the red zone. And what does he do? He throws to Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's
great call.
Yeah,
good call.
Yeah. The announcers tried to say that throw of DJ Moore that he injured was into a tight window. They were like, well, the reason why it was there is because it was in such a tight window. And I was like, no, the hell it wasn't. Stop trying to defend that guy. He was wide open. Yeah.
So I think here's the part that mixed with a couple of things from, yes, we are all biased because we did not want Cam Newton to be let go. You know, I think we might have been able to sustain some level of emotional understanding with Teddy Bridgewater if they didn't sign him to a franchise deal, right? That's what he got. Yes, it wasn't 5 years, but 3 years making franchise quarterback money is a lot to pay somebody you believe to be a bridge. And that's what he is. And that's what we thought he was from day one when he was signed. You know, we didn't think he was going to be this savant that was able to, drop the ball down. I mean, we've been complaining about the deep ball before he even threw a single pass for the Panthers. You know, when we knew he was drafted, we had this understanding that he is a game manager. That's what he's always been, and that's what he is. I mean, even when he went to the Pro Bowl, you go and watch that Pro Bowl season, look at the stats. He was a game manager. He was basically I can't even remember his name, but one of the guys from the Vikings the year they had the Minneapolis Miracle. I can't even remember the quarterback's name because he was irrelevant after that year. But basically, he was that guy, just somebody who was able to do something, and that's what we thought he could be. Unfortunately, he came in here with a lot more expectations on him because he signed a ridiculous deal with no reason behind it. Like, there is no sustained evidence that he was going to be successful in this league, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, shout out John Kid Cabrera for mentioning a name and then this coming up in my head. Marty Hurney still needs to be fired, y'all, because Greg Little was a healthy scratch. So going forward, now more people are starting to see what we're saying about needing another franchise quarterback. And yet again, I'll say that you don't want Marty Hurney, the guy who drafted Will Greer and Jimmy Clausen and
don't just name the bad ones, name the good ones too.
No, I'm talking I'm talking specifically, Greg, about quarterbacks and about offensive linemen. Okay, and he has a far bigger history of missing on those two important positions than he does hitting. And Cam Newton was the number one pick in the draft. So excuse me for not wanting to heap praises on him for drafting Cam Newton. Marty Hurney
could have drafted anybody, though. He still drafted Cam Newton.
Still needs to fucking go. And we need a brand new general manager. Marty Hurney ain't it, just like Teddy Bridgewater ain't it. And just like I was on the hill with Ron Rivera, I'm going to die on this one too, bro. Let's fucking go.
All right.
Here's my question. Because I think it's important that we there should be another side to this. Our GM, and like I said, I'm not prepared to say that, right? There have been some misses. 100% there have been. But who are your favorite players to ever play Panthers game? In a Panthers uniform, Cody?
Cam Newton. I just
Marty
said.
Hurney. I know. Keep going. I'm just trying to make an illustration. The reason I'm saying
he drafted every one of them is the point.
Every single person that has been a milestone player for our entire organization in the history of the Panthers has come from Marty Hurney. Every one of them. Jordan Gross. And let's take the draft out of the equation. Greg Olson, Luke Kuechly. You have Julius Peppers, even Jake Delhomme. Let's be honest.
How many Super Bowls do we have because of it?
How many coaches have we?
Let us be careful on this, Cody. Is there a lot of teams that have longer history? We've been in the Super Bowl 2 more times in the last
in 25 years.
Our existence than teams that have been around for 50 years. So here is and all right, look, it's okay, I think, to want to turn the page on Marty Hurney. like Cody does, and I think it is okay to recognize that Marty Hurney is not the fucking worst like CK and I do.
Yeah,
right?
so-
Like both can be true in the same world. They can, and that's fine. That's fine. But if you keep cherry picking the 2018 draft as the worst draft, in retrospect, it looks very bad.
I'm not just talking about the 2018 draft.
No, not you, but like I saw somebody put this up today. Kuntz, I love Kuntz, at Kuntz on Twitter. He's a great follow on Twitter. He's so funny. But he put up the 2018 draft, and you look at it, it's fucking horrible. Yeah, you know what I mean? Brian Burns is great, but outside of that, it is a bum bust. Right. And I gotta, and for me to not even just, I don't even, look, Marty Hurney, and in defense of him in this case, is you can only know what you know, right? In the Donald Rumsfeld statement of we don't know what we don't know. So you are working when you're drafting these players with limited information. The idea that Greg Little is this bad, even if we didn't trade up for him, if we would have gotten in the fourth, what is going on? How is Greg Little a healthy scratch when we don't have Okung? It is bizarre and disappointing and disheartening. Yeah, I think the Greer pick is like we all know the Greer pick was fucked up. We all know that, but Jordan Scarlett would be fine on
the writing on the wall.
Yeah, we thought it was great. Remember, we were like, "Oh, we got him at 100."
We don't think it. I think it was great.
It was great.
Well, let me ask you, Cody.
I didn't think it was great. I didn't want a quarterback, and I continue to be like this. And this is why the guy that you guys said I didn't bring up Cam. I did this. The people didn't bring up. I'm bringing him up now. The man who didn't. I always bring him up. The whole reason I wanted Cam is that if he got hurt and it didn't work out, guess where we were? Right where he is. Right. You know, with Will Greer, what the fuck is this mediocre dude going to do? The whole idea of drafting a backup quarterback to me is the most fucking befuddling idea. Yeah. Look at the fucking Steelers. They've done it like 1 billion times, and none of these assholes work out. The Green Bay Packers do it all the time. It doesn't work out. I don't get it. I don't even know why people do it.
No, you know what? Let Greg go because he's been trying to go.
Well, let me ask you one question real quick. It's for all three of y'all. I play a game on my podcast called Would You Rather, and a game, but I ask a question every week. Would you rather, and this is mine for this one this week here on this show, would you rather keep Teddy Bridgewater and all the good and bad he's done for the team, or keep Marty Hurney and all the good and bad he's done for the team?
God. Marty Hurney.
Yeah, Marty Hurney because
Cody, that's like asking Cody if he wants to be pissed in his face or shit in his mouth.
Listen, because this is the deal. What it guarantees. Listen, Teddy Bridgewater, he's not it, and we know that. So it doesn't matter if it's for a year or two. If we know he's not the hold on. We know he's not the long-term answer, but at least if Marty Hurney was fired, we know that the next guy making the decision on our quarterback isn't fucking him. So
I'm changing my answer to Marty Hurney, to keeping Teddy, getting rid of what I rather have because of that, Cody. Is that then you can bring in the new GM and he can do his thing. But I don't think that you are going to be able to bring, and I think this is the argument for where Marty Hurney is actually a good fit for this organization. I don't think you can bring in a big dick swinging GM here. I just don't think it can. I think this is Matt Rule's team. I think they have to kiss the Matt Rule ring when they come in if they're a GM.
Dude, the ring is on the hand of the billionaire.
Well, let me ask you too, Cody.
Well, yes, but he's already made.
I didn't hear your question.
I'll say you can name 6 quarterbacks right now that could be possible quarterbacks in the future for the NFL that we could fit in our team. Even no matter what the draft is, you can name 6. Can you name 6 GMs to replace Marty Hurney? That can do as good as.
I don't know any of these guys.
How about this? If you want me to, I'll compile a list for this Tuesday.
We do.
You can do it.
We need you. Actually, we need you to do it.
Say
that'd be awesome.
That is your homework.
And provide a track record of why you think that too, because I think it's important that you've got to do perspective, because the only people that you're going to be able to point out that have had success are still GMs. And if they're not, they don't have success. They're not GMs anymore, right? So the reality is you're going to go off of people that you hope would be better, such as Dan Morgan, such as anybody
you're doing
else.
no matter what. No matter what. That's literally what you're doing.
Right, but we need some rationale beyond just that.
When it comes to drafting a player,
prototype.
When it comes to drafting a player or choosing a GM, you're taking a chance, man. Okay, but dude, no risk it, no biscuit.
It's true.
That's what you have to do, man. Yeah, sometimes you have to put your cards on the table. The best franchises, they don't become the best by making these half-hearted, tepid decisions, man. And
this is why we made a mistake. We made a mistake not bringing in a GM with Rule.
Yes. Hurney should have been out the door.
They have to be handcuffed. Look what happened to Patricia. Patricia gets fired. Guess who else got fired? The GM. Right? Mm-hmm. Is that they need to be handcuffed. They're a couple. They're married. A head coach and a GM are married. The GM and the owner pick the head coach. Right? So you can't fire the GM and then keep the coach and then bring in another GM and ask him to kiss 2 rings. That's my point, Cody, is that when you say kiss the billionaire's ring, of course, everybody does, but he's already coronated Rule. You know, so no matter who you bring in, if their ideas could be the most brilliant ideas in the world, if they aren't in lockstep with Rules, guess whose wins? Rules do. That's what the way it's going to be. That's what I'm saying, is that's why it's the bizarre thing about the way we brought this in. All right, let's keep going with the calls.
Yeah, one thing I got, this is your boy Jay Anderson. One thing I got to mention, man, I say a lot of the blame got to go to Joe Brady, play caller, man. Because, dude, I'm like, you had time to run down that clock, man. I mean, to basically, I know you want to try to get Teddy loose, but man, to protect your quarterback this is game situation. Even though boy, Vilma, who I can't stand because he's an Aints, you're a former Aints player. He was saying this, game situation, man. You should have been running you should have been running the ball. Somehow calling good run plays to wind down that clock and stuff like that. I mean, it's just been Joe Brady has some terrible play caller, man. I'm just like, I know you're trying to get Teddy in, but when your boy coming off an injury, off a leg injury, you got to protect your quarterback. You got to put in plays that will help your quarterback out. And running the ball is an offense, is the offense's biggest weapon, especially if especially if protects your quarterback, man. All right, yeah.
Can I respond to Jay Anderson? You know what me and Joe Brady have in common? We're both handicapped. So you know what? Joe Brady is handicapped by his quarterback. So he knows that he can't put the ball down the field if he's behind the 50-yard line.
Joe Brady agree with that.
Joe Brady knows that. Just like my ass knows that a flight of steps is my worst fucking enemy, bro. I cannot, listen, I cannot sit here and people be like, oh, Joe Brady didn't do that. Yeah, listen, maybe it wasn't perfect. I'm not trying to say that Joe Brady is out here calling the best games in the world. What I am saying, though, is he has a quarterback that is limited. So all this shit that you want him to do, he knows not to even call that up. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand. I don't understand the criticism.
That's why Robbie Anderson's a possession receiver. That's why Robbie Anderson's a possession receiver.
Yeah, but that's one of the things I'll say to that. I agree. I don't think I think Joe Brady is very much handicapped by what he has at QB. I do, but I also think he has some blame on the way that this game ended, because That clock,
True.
He put the ball in Teddy Bridgewater's hands when he knew Teddy Bridgewater has not been doing anything there towards the end. And then at the end of the game, when we had 40 seconds, you had to do that. There was no other options. You have to put it in his hands. And it happened to work out that one time. But the part, and this is where I say, this is why I think this game is one of the reasons you're going to see Joe Brady not be a head coach next year. He might get some interviews, sure, but not anybody is going to be putting him in a coaching position this year and possibly for the next couple of years. And it's going to all be Teddy Bridgewater's fault. Everything about it is going to be Teddy Bridgewater's fault.
So do you think he steps up and says something about it then? Do you think that he puts out there like, hey, I can't get the job done with this guy?
No.
You can't say that aloud. You can say that to Rule.
You can't say that aloud behind closed doors?
Well, behind closed doors you can.
That's what I mean.
You can behind closed doors, but you can't say it. Well, you can't say I can't get the job done with anybody, right? It's like, what do you say to your boss? I'll get it done, even if you can't.
No. What you would say is, look at this quarterback who can't throw the ball. I was able to create an offensive game plan that made him look like one of the better quarterbacks in the league from a completion and yardage standpoint.
I think the biggest stain on Joe Brady so far is Teddy Bridgewater. How about that? Is that saying this is that my biggest criticism of Joe Brady is not his play calling at any moment, not how he's deployed this offense, not how he's deployed Teddy Bridgewater. My number one criticism of him is being overly confident in Teddy Bridgewater that you go and bring him in to be the solution. That's my number one criticism, and I don't believe it's on Matt Rule. There's no way that's on Matt Rule.
Listen, Joe Brady, 100%. That's where we're in agreement. He pounded the table for Teddy Bridgewater. Well, congrats, bro. You have him. So, but also, that's the same reason why I disagree with CK. I don't blame him for putting the ball in the hands of Teddy Bridgewater. This is the man that you chose.
Yeah.
And the man that this organization decided to pay $20+ million a year to. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to put the ball in his hands, then why did you make those decisions?
Yeah. The problem I have is not that he put the ball in his hands, it's that he put the ball in the hands of the guy who was unproven all game in a time where you wanted to run the clock out. You should not have. You should have run the ball just like it'd been successful pretty much all game, and let that happen. And if you didn't get the first down, at least you're running the clock. Because guess what? If we had run the clock down before, if we did not do those two passes that were dropped by receivers and tight ends, or by the running back and the tight end there before they did the muff punt, then we would have run that down past the 2-minute warning. It would have gone past
we didn't have
we
did not have timeouts in our own offensive drive on the back end with 42 seconds. I don't know why. Is it Teddy? Is it Joe Brady? Is it a combo of both? I'm so sick of the fucking timeouts being wasted for no reason. And I'm also sick of bitch-ass, diva-ass Tom Brady over here arguing with this defensive player because he overthrew the ball. He's an asshole. Talk about ruining a beautiful legacy. Tom Brady is ruining his own legacy in Tampa Bay with his own attitude. Not even the play, nothing. He could have they could have won 4 games this year. I would have thought more of him. It's the way he's behaved. Let's keep going with the calls.
Teddy Bridgewater is still a bum 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 bum. He too throws picks in the red zone. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick from Up in Mass. Dude, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Jeremy Chin won us this game. I mean, how many times can we sit here and say that
he
one
called
guy
it in
won
the
us
middle of the game. Poor guy.
But two touchdowns back-to-back from a defensive player.
Crazy.
Shout out to Jeremy Chin, man.
No
Keep
doubt.
pounding it.
Hey.
Oh,
you know who the fuck it is.
You.
And it's only after the fucking first quarter of this Minnesota game. I got a lot to fucking say. I'm back, baby. I've been on the hush for half the season, more than half the fucking season.
Where you been?
And I got a lot to fucking say. So after this game is over, I will be calling back, motherfucking Panther Nation. I got a lot to fucking say.
Let's do it.
Also, fire Marty Hurt.
Fire Marty Herney, bro.
What it do?
Fire Marty Herney. Let's go.
C3.
Dude, baby, with the fucking return,
your boy.
baby.
All right. Yeah. Where?
Also,
G-Baby,
fire
we
Marty
missed
Hurt.
you. All right. Here we go.
Also, fire Marty Hurt.
Come on. Next call. Come on. Here we go.
What it do, C3? It's your boy, Mike.
Is it Mike? We don't know. Is it an impression? I love these impersonations of each other.
I was gonna come more hyped than that, but we lost. So let me see. Oh man, Stat Daddy, Fat Daddy, Cat Daddy. I hope you're there, man. I feel you. Chick-fil-A is way overpriced. That chicken sandwich way overrated. Now the spicy chicken deluxe is off the chain, but those Chick-fil-A nuggets or whatever they call them, that Polynesian sauce they got there. Ooh, it's like they took.
Now I want to go get some Sunday.
Yeah, me too. No.
No, you can't talk about this.
Jockstrap, rang it out. They mixed it with 1,000 unicorn horns, grinded it and blended it all up, and gave it to Gordon Ramsay and told him to make,
A
wine out of
sauce out
shit.
of it.
That Polynesian sauce is banging.
Dude.
Okay, anyways. Good old check down, can't lead his receiver Teddy. Strikes again, with a below average stat line. Kirk Cousins looked like a god, his stats compared to good old Teddy. I'm kind of done with it now. I'd be happy to see PJ ride out the rest of the season. I know that's not going to happen just due to the fact on how much money they're paying him. Like when they got that fumble off that muff punt return, that's when you shove it down their fucking throat, man.
There was a couple of times we were supposed to shove it down their throat, and we prematurely ejaculated.
Let's see. Seems like we need to put some respect on Marty Hurdy's name just because of my boy Jeremy Chin. Put some respect on Phil Snow's name. Everybody said he needs to be fired. And how about some respect for Chase Blackburn, the special teams coach? Special teams is killing it this year. I ain't mad at them. But yeah, guys, just seems that CMC contract is another Marty Hurney fail because Mike Davis is still doing his thing. I don't know if we need to pay him all that money. It also seems that when we play bad teams, a la the Falcons and the Lions, we get their coaches fired. I feel kind of bad about that. I kind of don't. I heard Matt Patricia was it.
Shout out to Nick Montiero. Teddy is a bum. Get ready to live in that minivan down by the river is what I'm going to add on to that. That was not Jay. Who help me up? That was Supreme Leader. Supreme Leader is chiming in. You missed it, Cody. You need to go back and listen to our podcast from last week, from while you were gone. It may have been the best set of calls we ever had in the history of the podcast, like back to back.
I wasn't here for is the one where they were all
right.
fantastic.
I mean, the Herbert call was great, this and that, and then Greg went off on Chick-fil-A as his ice up, and I was sitting there going, "Oh man, Cody would love this. He hates their fucking waffle fries."
Dude.
Spicy chicken sandwich is the bomb. Their service is the best, and have a blessed day.
Hey, I know it's early. I know we've had a lot of fighting this year. I know we've talked a lot of shit. We've said this defense is horrible. I think we've all talked about it. I think the only bright spots, like we've said over and over, have been Brian Burns and Jeremy Chin. But if we don't put a fucking captain's patch on Chin's jersey and fucking, I will get down on my knees and suck his dick.
He just scored back-to-back touchdowns for us in a year where we can't even, we literally can't get off the field as a defense. And this man has gone out there and scored back-to-back strip touchdowns. Please, God, can we keep him? Can he stay forever?
Rub myself
because
in
he's
butter.
the only bright spot in this defense since Luke Kuechly left.
So we had a call where the last call from Supreme Leader talked about juicing a Cam Newton's jockstrap with something else to make a Gordon Ramsay sauce, and now we're sucking Jeremy Chin's dick on this podcast. Close your kids' ears, folks.
Wait, hold on.
What's up, C3?
So, no, you gotta pause it. Listen, man, there's 106 people watching. That's a fucking crazy number for us.
Come on!
We're at 93 likes. Listen, get us to 100 likes, man. Get this video to 100 likes.
Come on.
Man, look, we're trying to bring the heat, trying to be honest with y'all about what this football team is and give y'all the platform to bullshit with us, man. So hit that like button. Share this with all your Panther fans. Man, we be cutting up, man. Come do it with us.
In a world where 102 people are watching the stream, finding out Teddy Bridgewater is complete and utter garbage.
252-228-5098. You can be a part of the longest running Panthers podcast. We're live Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Go ahead, folks. Smash that thumbs up button. I don't know. Smash it hit that thumbs up button like Teddy Bridgewater hits a dump off pass.
Hey,
that is what I would say.
Before the next, through the next call, we're at the number 6 pick right now with 4 games left. What can we finish at? Think about that.
Ooh,
we could finish 4th.
You know what this is gonna make us do is cheer for weird teams. We're you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden we're gonna become
Jets get the done.
Yeah,
the Jets are definitely gonna finish better than them. Definitely better than them. But honestly, we could finish with the 3rd or 4th pick based on where we're at right now if we lose out.
So we played the Denver Broncos after our bye, and they don't have a quarterback currently because all of them are gone from COVID.
They will.
Okay, right.
By the way, I want to talk about that here in a second, guys.
Okay, but then we play Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera comes back home. Are we going to be cheering
fucking
for Ron
Tyreek
Rivera?
Hill, man?
Like we are.
God, I hate this motherfucker.
What?
Right.
Tyreek Hill just caught another touchdown, dude. What the fuck, man? He's got 3 today. He's got 216 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That can get downfield, a quarterback that can get it to him. That's what happens, Tony, right there. We have a quarterback that can utilize that skill.
These guys are embarrassing the Bucs right now. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, what I wanted to mention is the Broncos, right? They were facing the Saints today. The reality of who else was diagnosed with COVID was Lamar Jackson. Right. And what did they do for them? They postponed the game, didn't they? You know what they did for the Broncos? Play a wide receiver as your QB because you're not getting a schedule extension. Can you talk about how much they prefer people like the Saints and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens that over top of somebody like the Broncos? They are completely shitting on the Broncos organization. I'm not like I said. I have no skin in that game. The Saints are clearly going to win the division, but they are making this so easy on the Saints to get a possible bye in the NFC because they are just giving even with Taysom Hill, who by the way today has not looked like a phenomenal player. Right, he's had an interception. He's gotten the benefit of the wide receiver quarterback throwing 2 interceptions. I mean, it's not been a fantastic game. He's just benefited from the other quarterback not being a quarterback.
Hey, how good did it look to have Peyton Manning win the 50th Super Bowl? This is a television show. Remember last year when they wanted Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers to be in the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers were in every fucking commercial together there possibly was, and they got all the calls to go their way? This is a television show. I don't care what anybody says.
Irritates the shit out of me, dude.
Things for teams to work.
They wanted to give Taysom Hill a nice little easy week because they knew that if there was a decent defense, he was going to come out and shit the bed. And he did somewhat. He shit the bed a little bit today. He hasn't been fantastic, but he has benefited heavily from the Broncos not having an actual quarterback on the field.
All right, let's play this call. Come on, folks. We're like 3 likes away. It's crazy. I don't think we've ever gotten 100 likes. And this is our biggest. Way to go, Panther Nation. Way to turn out, folks. Way to turn out.
And Vikings and Dallas. We've seen a lot of people in.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Chef Jeff from the middle of the game.
Chef Jeff here.
Cousin.
Watching the game. Just literally watched the little, beginning of the second quarter interception. We were driving really well by fucking Teddy Bridgewater. And I was going to call before that. I was going to call at the end of the first quarter and say that, whether we win or lose this game, if we win, it would be in spite of Teddy Bridgewater. I'm sorry. PJ Walker should be out there. You guys can hate on me for it. I know there's going to be a bunch of people out there disagree. I don't care. PJ Walker should be out there. Teddy Bridgewater needs to be sitting on the fucking bench. That's really all I got to say now. I'll probably call back at the end of the game and definitely be listening to you guys this evening. Keep her pounding.
Way to go, Panther fans. We crested the 100 mark. 252-228-5098.
Yo. This is Kevin from Charleston, a.k.a. Mr. Tallywacker.
What's up, Mr. Tallywacker?
How you like that game, huh? How you like that game? I got good news and I got bad news. Bad news is we ain't going to playoffs. We're going to get a mid-round pick. You don't get no quarterback. But good news is we don't have to worry about which receiver we're going to pay because DJ just tore his ACL because of Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep.
Yay!
They did say it's an ankle injury, by the way, guys.
Peace.
Mr. Tallywacker.
Yeah.
Whatever the injury is, it's 100% Teddy Bridgewater's fault, and he refused to even take any kind of credit for it.
I've been upset about that, and you guys, some other people brought this up earlier in the season, and I have been trying to, not defend Teddy Bridgewater. That's not what I've been doing, but not go overboard with every little thing. I always had this thing so I was a big Barack Obama fan, like a giant. That was my dude.
Yeah,
Barack Obama's my guy. I saw him speak in 2008 in my college. I walked out there excited about being an American, and for the next 8 years. And I'm a middle guy, but I'm Catholic. So, I think everybody leans fiscally conservative in some way. So I always felt myself a little right of center. And I told in that 8 years, the right pushed me to the left. Right? They were so critical about everything. It'd be like, this motherfucker don't have his lapel on the right lapel. He don't got the flag up. It was just over. So when Donald Trump came and was elected, I told Democrats, liberals, I said, be careful. Don't go overboard on too much of the little shit. Save it. He will fuck up. He will give you plenty of shit to really go after, but when you he can't even end a sentence without ending it on a preposition, and they go big, it's too much. I've been trying to be like that about Teddy Bridgewater, but I tell you this, I'm starting to get irritated about him smiling after bad plays. I'm starting to get irritated about this guy not being upset. I don't need him to be crying. But, the only time I see my man smiling is when shit is either going bad for PJ Walker or, it's a bad play happens. And then you're going to get in the fucking post-game press conference and not fall on the fucking sword. Cam Newton's favorite saying is that, instead of pointing fingers, I point thumbs, homie. And I'm disappointed that Teddy Bridgewater isn't doing that a little bit more.
I said that at the beginning of the season, and you know what's even worse about that is he's now seen the Saints and the Vikings, and both these games when we went into them, we're like, oh, it's Teddy's revenge game. And guess what? Every game he's made time to go through the organization and the coaching staff and the players and say hey to all of them and joke around with all of them. Guess what? Those guys got rid of you because they didn't want you. A loser goes back and celebrates with them when they got rid of you because they didn't want you. That's what a loser does.
For months at a time, or after we signed Bridgewater, whenever it was, I got so much shit from people saying, oh, you're just not pulling for the Panthers because it's not Cam, and you're not giving Bridgewater a chance. And that's why my catchphrase all this season has been Teddy Bridgewater is who I thought he was. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could have predicted this, and I did predict this before this season even happened. Teddy Bridgewater, even in his limited amount of time, has never shown the necessary traits to be the quarterback of an NFL football team. Not a starter. Damn sure we're not a starter. And by the way, I don't have a crystal ball. I know I look like crippled Jesus, man, but I have no powers. Okay? All I do is use a little common fucking sense. And you'd be surprised how far that can take you, man.
Oh, by the way, first, all y'all people we've been begging for likes, right? How about y'all hit the subscribe button too? Subscribe, hit the bell. We're here more than once a week. I was with my wife watching the game, and we're talking about you at the Panthers and shouting at them as I was talking about it to my wife, like, God, Cody is fucking out in the firing shots at Panthers social media. And I said, this motherfucker went and traveled for Thanksgiving, and he came back cranky cripple.
Oh, for sure.
And my wife goes, you say that to his face? And I said, yes, I do. And B, it's kind of fucked up that you're okay with me saying it behind his back, but not to his face. That's what I said to cranky cripple. You were cranky cripple today, dude.
If y'all wait till the end of this podcast and stick with us, I will tell you the best handicap joke in the world at the end of the show.
Stick with us, subscribe.
Nobody makes more cripple jokes than me, man. Dude, if you can't laugh at life, you're in for a long fucking haul, bro. That's all I got to say, man.
All right, let's keep going.
Hey, fellas, it's Jason calling from Colorado. Gotta say I'm heartbroken after getting let another big lead fall away from us from conservative play calling and failures to execute. But there were some bright spots. Try to focus on that, I suppose. We did get a better draft pick. This basically worked out because we're out of the running for the playoffs. We know that. In the long run, this will be better. There was learning opportunities here. Jeremy Chin made his case for Defensive Rookie of the Year, maybe Defensive Player of the Year. He's leading tackles, and that was amazing. Special teams, they were executing phenomenally. I think that I was really pissed off about that first personal foul that got called on the kick when the guy didn't call a fair a fair catch, and he just got obliterated. But that was the same. I think that shook him up because then at the end of the game he muffed that catch, and of course, we failed to execute on that because of surprise, surprise, Captain Teddy Bridgewater. He's not our guy. He cannot. He's going downhill, I feel like. He's getting worse as the season goes on.
Yeah.
He's not even executing those small plays that you expect him to make. If you're a dink and dunk quarterback and you're next to perfect in the short to intermediate range, you can forgive the lack of a deep ball. But he can't do his deep ball. He's bad at the medium and intermediate routes, and he's marginal in the short routes. He doesn't have the arm talent to be really, I don't think a starting quarterback in the league.
Agreed.
Kyle Allen fell off week 10 also. Just saying.
The refereeing in this game was just absolutely bad. It seems you don't see a whole lot of plays being challenged anymore. There were multiple challenged this game and seemed to really frustrate me. But I could tell that I went into the Minnesota Reddit feeds, and I can tell that they were frustrated too. So it just wasn't that great. But give me more of that Jeremy Chin, Bobby Boucher bullshit, and I'll be happy as a cucumber for the rest of the season. So it was nice to have a bright spot. We could talk more in the postseason for the regular show, but keep pounding.
I felt like if you could go watch a movie, one of my favorite football movies, and I didn't realize I was such a Keanu Reeves fan. But it turns out I am a Keanu Reeves fan.
Who isn't a Keanu Reeves fan?
I love Point Break.
What even is
Keanu Reeves, watch Knock Knock. That'll blow your damn mind.
Dude, I just watched it last night. I could not turn it off. It's the stupidest fucking wild, dumb movie ever.
Don't tell me the end. I got
you gotta
to
watch it.
Movie,
Knock Knock. Oh my god,
it's insane.
Look, and Netflix has been recommending it to me for like a month, and I'm like, no. I looked at what it said, and I was like, I'm not watching this movie. I'm not watching this movie. I'm not watching this. And I finally gave it a chance because of Keanu Reeves only. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it did not disappoint for that reason. So I've learned I am Bill and Ted, Point Break, Replacements.
Matrix Speed, Replacements. Yeah.
And the Replacements is Jeremy Chin is our new guy. Do you remember that linebacker? And they were like, and he goes, Gene Hackman says, go get me the ball. Go get me the ball. Yeah. And he's like, I got the ball. I got the ball. That was Jeremy Chin today. Oh, go watch Knock Knock, folks. Because it will be your most First of all, we would all say yes.
It's a married man's worst nightmare.
Shut up. Yeah, it's like, that the fact that my man handled it as well as he did for as long as he did is also 2 thumbs up to him. 252-228-59.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Jedi Jor here, and
hey, what's up, man?
I just gotta say, when Teddy missed a wide open DJ Moore in the end zone, he had to fit it over the linebackers, but he could have, did a little touch pass. DJ Moore was wide open. There's really no excuse for that. When he missed that pass, I knew that the Vikings were going to win at that moment. I was just like, oh yeah, it's over. And it's interesting, we gave Ron Rivera so much criticism when he was here for starting veterans over, young talent, that can actually, win you football games. And I think that's exactly what, Rule is doing here with Teddy. He's put so much trust in Teddy, and I guess so much investment in Teddy that he doesn't want to, start somebody like a P.J. Walker, who he had the 2 end zone interceptions last week, but the thing about PJ was at least he was dynamic. He was, exciting to watch. It seemed like the team was rallying around him.
It was fun. It was fun.
It's really disappointing to watch this game and, basically see Teddy, start off terribly. He picked it up in the second and third quarters, but then, when it came down to crunch time, he really didn't step up. I've been on the Teddy Ain't It train for, a while here, so I'm hoping it looks like we've played our way out of, getting one of the better quarterbacks this year's draft.
Not necessarily.
Hopefully we can figure something out, because, it was embarrassing. We, as Panthers fans, we were embarrassed this week. So, hey, what can I say? Keep pounding and enjoying the show, guys.
I don't think we were embarrassed, personally. I feel like Teddy Bridgewater was embarrassed, but I think as a whole, we know we should have won that game. And the one person that is supposed to be the reason we're supposed to win, our quarterback, was the reason we lost. So I guess he's not it. I think we all can agree with that. But yeah, that's 100% accurate. Dude's just done. I just don't know. I will say this much, because I think like Bad Daddy.
God, Tom Brady picked off of a tip.
Nice.
That's another one. pick 6 too. It looks like.
But we wanted to, yes, the criticism for Ron Rivera was the unwillingness to play new talent to try to develop those guys. But and yes, Teddy Bridgewater, you would say is a veteran, but I also think he's their guy. He's the guy they handpicked, they signed to a contract. I think it is less about veteran for him and more about, hey, listen, this guy is he knows the offense better than PJ Walker by probably a mile, but he's just not able to execute it very well. I think that's why. Like what you're seeing now is, let's look at Tahir Whitehead. He's out of the equation now. Jermaine Carter Jr. starting. I mean, these guys that are young are getting opportunities. And if Ron Rivera was still here, do you think Jeremy Chin would be on the field as much as he is? I guarantee you not. So they are making strides, and they are better than what Ron Rivera was. I think it is fair to criticism that they did not make a move away from Teddy Bridgewater this game at all. I think there should have been a move away from him, especially that last drive. Even though it ended up working out, I think it should have been a move at that point.
It should have been. I mean, listen, we can go to the next call. I kind of think watching this football team, there's, again, a lot to like going into the future. But the problems that we have on this football team, as the season goes on, the problems are under more and more of a magnifying glass. Mm-hmm. And I did want to touch on something a little bit. I feel like a lot of people might be owing the Bat Daddy an apology for this Kyle Allen comparison that he's been making, that even I have been tepid to jump on. Like, even I have said, okay, Teddy Bridgewater is better than Kyle Allen. But how much better is he? Like, really, what does he do for this football team?
Can you tell us, Greg? Because I like how you haven't backed down. And mad props to you for this. As you call yourself the wet blanket now on Twitter. Cody owns what he says. He says, you don't want to call me a fan, don't call me a fan. And you have not backed down from this.
No.
Tell us why.
Not at all, because you look at Kyle Allen's last year, and I look at his first 10 games, and the game 10 was where he really fell off. Kyle Allen still had 5 wins for us through the first 10 games. He had about 200 less maybe after this game, 300 less passing yards than Bridgewater does. More touchdowns, less interceptions, more wins, with a team that wasn't as good offensively as what Bridgewater has right now. So, I'm not, and when I say this, everybody always jumps on me. Well, Kyle Allen's not better than Bridgewater. No, I'm not saying Kyle Allen's better than Bridgewater. Kyle Allen is garbage. What I'm saying is Teddy Bridgewater is just as stinky a garbage as Kyle Allen.
He's doing less with more.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing less with more. And he, people want to praise him like he was great, and people wanted to castrate Kyle Allen after 10 games. They're the same player. They do the exact same thing. The difference is Kyle Allen can pass the ball down the field. Teddy Bridgewater won't pass the ball down the field.
Bubba Pacha.
They're getting the same production, though.
Bubba Pacha in the chat room is saying, what the fuck, man? Looks like Tom's chewing out his receiver. Dude's got to be hated in his locker room more than Wentz is in his. Tom Brady threw a pass that bonked off a defensive player's head, and then he's going to chew out the wide receiver. I still believe that Tom Brady, this is the most ungracious fall or decline from Mount High ever.
And how about how many times this year has he refused to shake the hand of the quarterback?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all of this. You put it all together. He is a sore loser. He wants you to kiss the ring when he wins. He's such a... All the things. Look, the only reason I did not, and I think I said this on Tuesday night while you were gone, is that the only reason I have not liked Tom Brady is because of the Super Bowl. Like, the only single reason I have not liked Tom Brady in my history of my life is because of the Super Bowl where he beat us. And I am fine with admitting that I fucking hate people for doing shit like that. Like, I'm petty enough. I'm petty, I will hate you. But I have said he's the best. I said he was better than Peyton Manning. I said all of this. This is the worst fucking look for a great player I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
if he was black, these motherfuckers would have damn thrown him out of the league by this point.
There's merit to that conversation, man. And there have been so many people that have said about Tom Brady for a long time that he's a system quarterback, that he's never been anything close to the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's always had the best coach in the NFL and a bunch of really good coordinators to put a good team on offense and defense, and that he was a dink and dunk quarterback. Then he goes to Bruce Arians to try and air the ball out down the field. Now all he does is sail the football over the head of a wide open receiver. Yeah, and
I think he's just a bitch, man. I don't even care about that.
I think Tom Brady knows what you're saying is true. He knows that now at the end of his career, he's going to have a bunch of people that are going to be like, see, we told you you're not as good as everyone always said you were. So, yeah, that's why I think he's chewing people out.
He could have held the rings up, though, instead of being a dick. That's the thing. I would just held the rings up. All right, let's keep going.
Well, you think you would be having more fun.
Short and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Chin is not verified on Twitter.
Get that man a blue check.
Hey, Tony. Hey, guys. This is Chuck from Elizabeth City calling. I just wanted to let y'all know, emotionally, I'm just drained and drained.
He's drained.
This is the first time this season I feel like I'm living under a Ron Rivera regime. We should have scored a touchdown. Should have thrown for field goal. It's just terrible decision making, and I don't know who to blame. Point fingers, because a lot of guys played well today, but coming up short in some areas, and I don't have any answers.
Yeah, I don't think that I will say this is that I know that people want to point the finger at Phil Snow, but I think this defense and maybe the defense, I think it's easy to finger the coach when things go wrong, right?
It's easy to finger the coach when things go wrong?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it a couple
times. I didn't even know that, man. You're teaching me something new.
I think so, but I do think that this defense put us in a place to win, though. Right? That's the thing is that they weren't there. They didn't win us the game at the end. That's the case. The defense did not win us the game at the end. At the end, they just didn't get home. They could have won it, but they put us in a position to win. And for all the people that have loved Teddy Bridgewater and gone crazy about him, that's what they kind of say about him every week. Right? Is that you put us in a position to win. He put us in a position to win. He did that. Right? No, the defense, who is playing with half bums, half rookies, put up points and held the team and we were in the lead. And you know what? The offense has run into the same problems that they ran into the first 5 games, which is settling for field goals rather than punching it in. Maybe a little Christian McCaffrey would have helped right now.
Shelly Long in our YouTube chat says, why can't we beat Tampa Bay? Oh, that's right. We got Teddy.
By the way, I'm still salty over the fact that the Broncos just had to play this game. I have to say it. I just saw them post up. The last time a team had more interceptions than completions was, 1998 with San Diego, because they had 1 completion and 2 interceptions today. I don't care about this. Everything from this day should be scratched from history for them. This should not be a situation that should ever be able to be called upon as being one of the worst moments in NFL history, because this NFL decided to play favoritism to people. It's just so frustrating to me. Anyway, guys, my bad.
All right.
I saw that on the
100% right, man. You're 100%.
Next call.
What a game, what a game, what a game, what a fucking game. Hi, it's Tree Fitty.
Welcome back, Tree Fitty.
Yeah, that happened. I mean, shoot, what can I start? I guess, on the last play of the game, my guy, Joey Sly. Your number was called, you missed the kick, the 54-yarder. I mean, yeah, he missed it. Ultimately, that's what happened, so shit, he missed the kick. But, yeah, I don't even know where to go from this. Shit. Teddy. I mean, the defense, not even defense. Jeremy Chin gives you 2 touchdowns in 10 seconds apparently, breaking some record somewhere. Definitely franchise record for sure, but defense spots you 2 touchdowns. And number 30, what's his name? Miles Hartfield, I think. The safety / high school running back we signed for that 1 week. He played that running back. He even gave you a good fumble recovery within the red zone. And, it's homecoming Teddy, and this is what you give us. You was hurt coming off your other knee. All this, I mean, what was the point of you starting? For what? You didn't move the ball. I don't know, man. It's just put PJ in, Will Greer, somebody. Who cares? I'm done with Teddy. He's inadequate. He's
right there with you, man.
He's a he ain't it. I'll tell you that. No, is it time running out? I don't know. I'm gonna keep talking till it fucking runs out. Whatever.
Oh, Brady almost threw me the pick.
27-28. It's a shame how many times you gotta give it to Joey Slye, try to bail you out of a stupid ass situation you shouldn't be in.
I know what.
There's no reason why the 22nd ranked defense.
Just saying.
Come on, our offense, we should be able to put up 30 every week. Especially against a nut-ass fucking Vikings team. Come on, man.
Tom Brady looks like damn boy from Zoolander.
Just
like he's always doing blue still.
Joey Slye, you're still better than Graham Gano's first 2 years in the league. So here's that.
Yeah, Graham Gano sucked when he was with Washington. Don't forget that, folks. Tom Brady looks like what's his name doing blue steel. Oh, but he just threw a touchdown to Mike Evans. Never mind.
I'm behind.
Yours must be ahead of mine.
Yeah,
I'm behind. I gotta be behind. I'm on Hulu. My shit.
I'm on 4th and 3 with 13 minutes left.
Same. You and I must have the same stream.
Well, damn, you guys are usually ahead of me. I'm usually the laggard. He just threw a touchdown on 4th and 3 to Mike Evans.
Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater.
That was a block, Tim.
Teddy Bridgewater is interesting. Is that because we have somebody said that he had a strap on in his pants in that picture that we reference? Teddy Bridgewater is the epitome of this. Is imagine having the giant dick, but you can't get it hard. Would you rather have an average D that was hard as a rock, or a giant D that you can't ever get up? That is Teddy Bridgewater in the deep ball. He can't get it up.
No, it's tree fitty. I ain't done. Man, Teddy, you got DJ hurt. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why
if you was that able to test it deep, why didn't we just start TJ if he has the best arm on the team? Quoted, shouted, what was that? Man, we said 3 times during last game during the broadcast. I mean, and we saw it. He threw it down to DJ and then overthrew him again in the second half. I mean, why not have a guy that can make our weapons, really look like they really should as weapons? Because, Teddy back in, right back to focusing on this good old Robbie Anderson. The only reason I got touched on because he finally, that's what our receivers do. We're all about the rack, the yak, rack, whatever. Run after catch. So, he's able to break loose and go. Besides that, Teddy can't hit you in stride. Got to slow up to catch the ball. Wouldn't be mad at Teddy if he just wasn't a starting quarterback, wasn't paid his contract. If he was a backup, he's the best backup in the fucking league, hands down. He's probably he's a decent quarterback, but we already know he ain't it. And today was a wasted opportunity because his defense, like I already said, defense gave you that. Special teams did all right. And you can't even cash in. Come on. The running game wasn't even half bad today. Man.
Get on the couch, Tree.
Oh, yeah. And notice back on, Teddy back starting quarterback and shit. That clock looking like 0-1-0-0. That shit happened like 3 times in the first half. And then we had to wait for the timeout for it. Back to the same old shit. Yeah. I'm sounding real negative. I mean, shit. One of probably the better showings from our defense this year is ruined from a mediocre. Fuck it, whatever.
Just saw
All right,
this.
C3,
Thanks,
I'm
Tree
done.
50. Man, thanks, dude. I just saw this. My buddy sent me a message because I saw him and I said, I believe that's got to be back-to-back. The first time back-to-back scooping scores have ever been done. It is. He sent me just heard on Panthers Radio Network. It is indeed the first time in NFL history a player scored back-to-back defensive touchdowns. 252-228-5098. We're here Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. A couple more calls and we're out of here.
And let me say something real quick about DJ Moore. So when PJ Walker started, after the game, we were saying, oh, man, DJ Moore is a number one wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the very next week after Teddy Bridgewater throwing the
bum.
football to him, now we're talking about, hey, DJ Moore is going potentially to IR. That should be all the evidence that you need to see.
And he fights.
And a lot of people, here's a point that I don't think we've talked about is the interception that Teddy Bridgewater threw in the red zone. People wanted to blame Mike Davis for that. Teddy Bridgewater was throwing Mike Davis into a ridiculous hit. Mike Davis could have gotten hurt on that. Like, that was not, like, as a quarterback, that is the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. He threw the ball into that contested coverage with a linebacker coming full speed at him. And if that wasn't an interception, Mike Davis, if he caught it, he was getting his bell rung and he might have been out too. So Teddy Bridgewater has been doing a lot to get these players on our team hurt this year. If you go and watch any of the games, he's underthrowing balls, allowing his wide receivers to have to stop and come back. And if you're stopped and you're stagnant and somebody's running full speed at you and you catch the ball and they hit you, that's going to be something that hurts, you know? And so that's the problem. Teddy Bridgewater has not been that's why I think that this wide receiver core is not going to stand for Teddy Bridgewater too much longer. He is not a quarterback that is doing his best to make sure they're safe. Just bottom of the, bottom line.
Big shout out to Panther Nation today for showing up to the C3 Panthers post-game show. You guys have smashed that thumbs up button 115 times. If you 16. If you haven't yet, go ahead and smash it. Help us continue to grow. Subscribe to the podcast, and don't forget, we're the longest running Panthers podcast. Not that it's not a bragging point. What I'm trying to say is this: we're just Panther fans chopping up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. For the last 8 years, you've heard me say that as I've opened the show. We want you to be a part of Panther Nation. We want to grow the voice. We want to be big, mighty, and proud as a fan base, and we need to grow that for the years we're not good, right? That's the truth, is that we have a fragile baby right now with the Carolina Panthers. We've had enough success in our 25, 26, 27 years now at this point. We've had enough success that this baby has lived through those opening moments. But if we get 10 or 5 years of 2-14, which we're not going to have, it's going to be hard to sustain the momentum we have gained as a nation. So we need you guys to build it up with us. And that's all you got to do, is be part of the conversation. Tell a friend about the show. Call into the cat calls at 252-228-5098. Subscribe to the show. Smash the thumbs up button. All those things work. Hey, and just cheer for the team. Even if you're screaming at them, that's still cheering. You can hate and love players. It all helps. And if you're a fan of another team wearing another jersey at our stadium, you don't like our team, come on over. We'll take you because your team sucks. Fuck the Falcons.
AC3 Nation. This is Darius Burks from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm in a military station in Japan.
Oh, man.
I just want to say thanks for letting our voices be heard, for the good, the bad, and the ugly. From what we had today was the good, bad, and ugly. Just want to make a shout out to, of course, Jeremy Chin. That dude was dominant today. I wanted to hate on Teddy Bridgewater because he not only injured our wide receiver, he did nothing for 3 quarters, barely scored a touchdown, thanks to Robbie Anderson. I just want to say, if we probably had P.J. Walker in there, he probably would have scored more touchdowns, especially that last one. I don't want to put it all on the kicker. That dude, he missed the long one. He has the leg, but he doesn't really have the accuracy. We've seen it all year. We've seen it last year. So to put all the blame on that guy is not the move. Teddy put us in that situation, and Teddy deserves about 90% of the blame. That defense was dominant. They let a lot of stuff through, but, I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're always on the field. Thanks for letting our voices be heard.
Appreciate that, man. That's all we're trying to do is continue the conversation. Hector in the chat, Hector the Legend says, I might turn into a fan if you get your stuff together. He went on to say, we don't know anything about football. I believe that Hector may be Brandon Herbert.
What's going on, P3? It's Darius from Raleigh.
What's up, Darius? We had Darius from Japan. Now we're in Darius from Raleigh.
About this game, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This just sets us up even more to get a quarterback in the first round. Listen, I understand there's a lot of holes to fill on this team. There's a lot of holes. But the hardest hole to fill on the team is the quarterback. I said this last week when I called in. Teams take quarterbacks even though they have a lot of holes to fill. You still have to get a quarterback. And then people want to bring up, the Joe Burrow injury and all that stuff. That can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. If we end up picking I'd say top 6 or 7,
Tell them, Darius.
No reason we don't take a quarterback. If we don't take a quarterback, I'm going to be livid.
Mm-hmm.
I understand receivers were dropping balls and stuff like that, but I feel like with any other quarterback, well, I don't want to say any other quarterback, but one of the quarterbacks that are doing good this year, we win that game. There should be no reason we didn't score after they muffed that punt. It's kind of hard to say keep pounding after that, but I'm just hopeful for the draft at this point. Just looking forward for the draft. I want the quarterback for the future.
That's your boy right there. You've made it. That's your. First of all, you and Darius went after each other a bunch in the beginning.
Yeah, but he's on my side now. It took Darius a little while to come around.
It's not even about being on sides. You had a good discussion.
Oh my gosh! What a horrible roughing the passer call. I'm sorry.
What they call it?
Patrick Mahomes just got he threw an bad interception and just got a celebrity call for roughing the passer. The damn player ran into him, didn't even fall on top of him, ran into him and knocked him down.
But hey,
still standing on his feet, and they called roughing the passer. Get the fuck out of here,
Patrick definitely gets plays. But I do want to pinpoint something, man, to Hector the Legend in our chat. Look, the whole point of these podcasts is Panther Nation, and I think this has been proven over the course of this year too, and us doing kind of crossover events with other Panther YouTubers, is that this Panther fan base has a lot of different opinions, man. A lot of different opinions on the players on this football team, the direction of this football team, the decision makers on this football team. There's room for all opinions, man. We're not trying to stifle anyone. That's why we have the cat calls line. If you want to tell me I'm stupid and ain't shit and don't know anything about football like Brandon Herbert does, have at it, man. That's what we're here for, man. You don't have to agree with us, but one of the things that we're always going to do is we're going to give our honest opinion and our honest assessment, regardless of if it's popular or not, because every single guy on this podcast has gotten a ton of shit about us being not good Panther fans and, you're cam sexuals and you just hate Teddy Bridgewater.
That's a good
and
term,
all this
though.
nonsense, man. No, we're going to be honest with you about the players on this football team. So, hey, man, we're down for the discussion.
I do find cam sexual. I told Carl that he was about 3 years late on the cam sexual comment.
I like that.
Like, it was good. And that is the thing. We're not football experts. We're expert football fans. The number's 252-228-5098.
What's going on, C3? It's Darius from Raleigh.
Wait, is it?
Hold
on, this is a different.
Got a lot to say about this game, but I'm gonna keep it short.
Nope, that's the same one. Next
So,
one.
Greg, 16 interceptions, 13 fumbles. That was Kyle Allen.
13 fumbles? No, maybe turnovers, not fumbles.
right
He didn't have 13 fumbles. Let me look it up right now.
Yeah, look up how many fumbles he got. Because fumbles is a stat that gets hit.
We got to look with the call.
Yeah, we gotta start the call.
Sorry, yeah, I apologize. I apologize.
No,
Good.
it's fine. I didn't hear him.
Better than Kyle Allen. Not by much. Not by much.
Oh, whoa.
Fucking.
Hold on.
So, Greg.
He's on your side, man.
16 interceptions, 13 fumbles. That was Kyle Allen last year. Okay. That stat right there is the big reason, at least in my head, as to why Teddy Bridgewater is better than Kyle Allen.
Oh, okay.
Not by much.
Okay.
Not by much. Because Teddy is a fucking bum. And I won't insult Kyle Allen because he has a fucking hurt leg. So, that wouldn't be fair even though he is a bum.
Okay.
So he kind of was on. He was a little bit.
He kind of was, yeah. He still thinks Teddy's a bum. He just doesn't think Kyle Allen's that good.
Fumbles is a hidden stat. They don't advertise that one well.
Yeah, and here's my argument. I don't think Kyle Allen's a good quarterback. I'm not by any means advocating Kyle Allen being the quarterback. What I'm saying is if we're getting the same production from Teddy Bridgewater, paid $63 million to, we could have got that from $7 million from Kyle Allen. And been in a whole lot better position in the same spot to get the same
for a rebuild.
Draft. Yeah, for a hell of a lot cheaper. That's what I'm saying.
Here's my question: through 10 games, because right now we're 4-8. Teddy Bridgewater's played 11 of those games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through 11 games, what are Teddy Bridgewater's stats currently? And exactly, tell me touchdowns to interceptions to any turnovers. Period.
I'll have to pull it up real quick, his stats for the year, because Kyle Allen didn't play every game last year either.
If he had 13 fumbles, that is fucking
It's
terrible.
not 13 fumbles. I'm looking it up right now.
That's like 1.5
He had 16 interceptions at the end of the year, but I don't know about 13 fumbles. But I could be wrong. Let me look at it right here.
He had a few. He fumbled at least
he
once
definitely
per
had,
game.
He definitely had a few. He had one game where I fumbled like 4 times,
rocked,
I think. Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. That's just a lot of damn fumbles.
It is.
Okay, so the Panthers fall 28-27 in cardiac fashion, guys. The Panthers come out stagnant.
Fumble. Wow.
13 fumbles. Yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I told y'all Kyle Allen was worse.
Yeah.
But that means, what's the difference between having someone piss on your face and shit in your mouth?
Marginally worse, yeah.
If Bridgewater is better than Kyle Allen, it's not that much, dude.
Bridgewater's not $50 million better.
I think that's the only point.
$50 million
That's
better.
the only point that Bat Daddy has been making. And by the way, this is also another strike against Marty Herney, because the quarterback that has never demonstrated franchise quarterback abilities got $20+ million a year.
That's Joe Brady. That's not Marty Herney. That's Joe Brady.
Running back.
That's Joe Brady.
He paid a running back who doesn't see the field this year, who got the most running back money in football and who is hurt and isn't contributing. And the left tackle that we moved up for is a healthy scratch today.
No.
You have to fucking fire Marty Herney, and I will die on this.
That's fine. You can fire Marty Herney, but this is Teddy Bridgewater is more of a stain on Joe Brady than he is on Marty Herney. It's just simple truth. It's a simple fact. And if you don't want to admit that, then it is a fact. Joe Brady, the only reason that Teddy Bridgewater is here is because of Joe Brady. There is no link.
Who decided to pay him all that money?
Joe Brady.
Joe Brady didn't sign the number deal.
It doesn't matter about the number. I don't even give a fuck if it was $1. I don't care if it was $1.
It doesn't matter. If you're the general manager, you're supposed to be able to veto your first-year offensive coordinator. What sense does that make?
Well, didn't they also say whenever the season started that he wasn't going to be the general manager? He was going to be like the assistant to, or like some kind of deal where he steps down and he is like the assistant general manager.
Y'all are giving too much grace to Joe Brady on this.
That man is our general manager.
The fault on Teddy lies on Joe Brady, homie. Nobody else. No, that's just market value, bro. That's just market value when you sign that. That's just the agent saying this. We ain't gonna sell this house. This house has a shitty floor plan. Yes, it does, but it's still 1,800 square feet, and this is what it's worth.
Marty Herney is still
Joe Brady is linked. Teddy Bridgewater and Joe Brady are together. They're wed.
Marty Herney, like Brad Holt says in our chat, Marty Herney has always overpaid players.
No, that's just fucking bullshit. No, he got not bullshit to Brad Holt. I'm saying bullshit to you, Cody. Bullshit, man. Yeah, that's just market value for a starting quarterback. You can pay Mike Glennon. No, the money is not the problem. The decision is
demonstrate that he was a starting quarterback.
No, I just disagree. That's fine. Do you want to say that? Is that, again, that goes to Joe Brady.
Hey, here you go. And Teddy Bridgewater signed with the Carolina Panthers March 25th, 2020. Panthers announced the same day quarterback P.J. Walker also signed a 2-year contract. So if you're going to say P.J. Walker is better than
yeah, but it wasn't for $60 million.
Marty Herney, the same credit there.
Exactly. So signed at the exact same time. One for way, way less than the other one.
Zero Chill said Teddy is the 30-year-old virgin.
The reason I'm so fond of Marty Herney is because I think you can – every single GM I've looked at, I've been going through the Chiefs. I've been going through – everybody has almost as bad a record on the second, third, fourth, fifth round picks as Marty Herney. Right. Not a single one of them have hit on as many first-round picks. Not a single one. And that's the difference.
You're cherry picking so hard, man.
No. I want you to do this. Is here. Pick your favorite list. Pick your favorite GM. No. Pick your favorite. Look, you've got 2 homeworks, Cody. You can't just come up here, Cody, and be controversial. You can't. We are giving you homework. The professor is giving you homework. The professor's giving you homework. Your homework is to come with a list, right, Greg, of potential GMs.
Replacements and why.
The second list,
I'm going to do my homework, and I'm going to come with why we should keep Herney. So
I want to second list, you have to come up with this. The second list is I want you to pick your favorite GM. I want you to send us a message. You can send it on Twitter. You can send it on DM. Who is the best GM in the league? That's what I want you to tell us. Not right now. I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't want to put you. And then I want to look at their draft history and specifically their first round draft history. Those are the 2 things. We're not telling you you're wrong, dude. I'm not telling you you're wrong. That's not what I'm doing. In fact, I don't even really disagree. My thing is this, is I almost feel like Marty Herney is the Teddy Bridgewater of GMs.
But okay, then you should be agreeing with me.
I'm not disagreeing with you, homie. I'm not disagreeing with you. I have already agreed with you, and I will say this, and no, in my defense, I'm not going to back down. No, I'm taking the mic. I'm not backing down for this. I'm not backing down from this. I've said the problem was this, is we should have brought in Rule and the GM together. So it's not about me. And my whole defense of Marty Herney at this point, I have 2 points about Marty Herney that are important to me. One is he's not as bad as people has said he is. That doesn't mean he's good. That doesn't mean it's kind of like what people who are defending Teddy Bridgewater probably think about you or us, right? Is that just because we're not saying he's the best, we're not like being okay is not the problem. Herney's been okay. The one thing I think is good about Herney with Matt Rule is that you brought in the coach, you brought in all this staff, and you put them on the pedestal. And I think Marty Herney is the chameleon. I think you just work with anybody. That's the only reason I think he's good.
Let me tell you what I'm going to prepare. This is what I'm going to prepare for Tuesday.
cripple.
I am going to compile a comprehensive list
He's gonna
on every single reason why Marty Hurney should have already been fired from this football team, and the things that he has done recently that validate my point. Then I'm going to bring 5 of my choice candidates.
I like it.
Now, before you all listen, I already know what Greg's going to say. It's going to be a bunch of guys that don't have a ton of GM experience. And
will you do what I asked, though? Will you do what I asked, which is to pick your the best GM in the league? Pick whoever you think is the best GM in the league, like the best. And I just want to look at their draft history. I will look at first round, yes, and I understand first round is only one thing. We will look at the last 5 years. I just want to say that I want to know what you want them to be like. If you're going to give me a list of people of what they can be, I want you to also give me a person that they could
understand
be.
That no matter who I pick, no matter who I pick, no matter who it is, you're going to be able to go through their history and find players that didn't work out.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to just go, oh, this is this. What I'm just trying to look at this is it we can look at the same thing for Marty Hurney, right? That's my point, is that, I can look at anybody and find bad reasons why they shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we will not do that in this case. We just want to see, is he how far behind is he from the best?
All right, that's it. Fine. Hey, man, I have my homework. No, listen, to everyone still listening, tune in Tuesday night, because I'm about to give everyone all the information they will ever need to know on why Marty Hurney needs to get the fuck out of here, bro. So, hey, it's done. Done.
Can we answer the King DJ17's super chat?
I don't know how much 500 yen is worth. Or yen? Yeah. What is it? Is it yen? He's from Japan.
Yen. Yeah, I think it's yen.
Yeah, but
it sounds like a lot, though.
Yeah, he says
even if it's not, thank you.
Which he shouldn't be, which I agree. How about Kaepernick? No, Kaepernick, I'm sorry. A guy who hasn't played in almost 5 years now, going to be 6 coming up pretty soon. I'm not taking a guy who hasn't played in that long and thinking, now he may be as good as Bridgewater, but I'm not looking for a guy as good as Bridgewater. I want a guy that's a franchise quarterback, and I don't believe Kaepernick is that guy.
True.
Not for 6 years of being off.
I've said that Colin should have had a job of some shape or form for the past 5 years. I've been saying that, but dude, at this point, I don't think Colin Kaepernick thinks that he's going to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Or probably wants to be.
And he probably won't. And at this point in time, isn't it fair to say that he probably has a bigger impact on areas of social justice than he does in being a good football player? Like it seems like, whatever you think about him, man, you know Colin Kaepernick for his protest first now, and him being a football player second. He hasn't started in 5 years. I mean, I think he should have a job if he wants to have a job, but I mean, at the end of the day, how much do you trust a quarterback that hasn't really been a legitimate starter for 5 years? No fault of his own. I'm not saying that, but still.
When he was a starter, he wasn't impressive. He got beat out by Blaine Gabbert.
He was injured at that point. You know,
I mean,
there's some different things
that's
about
the last
that.
we remember.
I don't think that Colin Kaepernick wants to play football. Is my
by the way, I don't think he does. The exchange is $4.80 is how much it was just paid.
Thank you, the King DJ17. That was very gracious of you, A. Yes, and B, thank you for your service over stationed in Japan. Probably a good posting. I'm just guessing there.
I wanted to go to Japan since I was a child.
My man Darius is here. I would say this is any donation we're thankful for. That's not what we're here for. So thank you guys for giving it when you do. we find ways to further the podcast and keep the website going.
Yeah.
But really, this is, if anybody knows this, is look, I got 3 kids. I got a wife down there that's pissed at me right now, probably for talking on the internet for the last 5 hours. I got like we do this entirely because we have a good time doing it. My best friends are here in this podcast, and I've only met some of you. Look, I've never even met Greg in person, physical person. I've only met like, you know what I'm saying is this podcast has helped me be prepared for COVID life. Like, my wife's all like worried about her social life. I'm like, dude, I've been taking care of this shit for years on Tuesday nights.
You're more social than ever, Tony.
Yes, we're here. So thank you though for anybody who does give to the podcast. Thank you very much. Any amount is so generous, but you know what you can do that makes us grow just as much. Thumbs up, subscribe, share, tell a friend about the podcast, tag them in a link to the podcast and be like, yo, Teddy Bridgewater sucks, or yo, Teddy Bridgewater is the best. Right? All of this. Wonderful. So thank you. Guys, that's all the cat calls right now. So we've been through the calls. We're here live Tuesday night, 9 p.m. My final thoughts on for me, and I'll let you go. We'll give everybody the mic one last time. My final thoughts for this game. Ooh, actually, no. I'm going to give it to you guys because I wrote down some notes. You guys go. Who wants to go first on final thoughts for the game? And hit us with your chin check in that point.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is pretty easy with the chin check. I mean, across the board here.
Yeah, across the board. Yep.
Can we all just he deserves it. All of our chin check this week. And listen, Tony might want to go Kerr. That's fine, whatever. But dude, we all need to say Jeremy Chin. Is our
we need him to be defensive. When they said that, they kept saying he's a defensive rookie of the year prospect, defensive rookie of the year prospect,
defensive
and
player
then
of the year.
Yeah, but do you remember when they blocked our field goal or whatever? And then Vilma's like, this guy could be defensive rookie of the year. I was like, shut the fuck up. No, you cannot say that.
I never heard his
this
name
game.
up to this point. Honestly.
No, neither have I.
Do we have another call? Darius Jones said he called in for a second.
All right,
I don't know if he did or not.
Oh, yep. Here it comes. I got one last one. Just came in. Here we go. Well, it didn't. Just 7:05 came in like 15 minutes ago. Hit refresh.
What's up, C3? It's Darius from Raleigh again. Another point I want to make, too, about the quarterback and why we need another quarterback is I hate to do it, is I'm going to bring up Cam. I feel like every diehard Panthers fan has asked themselves this question time and time again. If we had Cam Newton, how many games will we have won this year? And if your answer, if you're like, if you,
it's not like, less.
If you have questioned yourself on that anytime this year, you have answered the question of why we need another quarterback. There should be no reason. I don't want to get into the whole conundrum about, letting Cam know or anything like that. But if Cam was on this team, we would be well above 500.
Way to finish it with the most controversial comment you can make in Panther Nation, Darius.
I'm not sure that's accurate, but
what, my statement?
Or no, that we would be well over 500 if he was starting. I don't know that that's accurate.
Well, we're only one game. What, 2 games away? 2 games away from 500. What were we? Yeah, 4 and 8
by
now.
The way, for all the people that say they don't want a brand new quarterback behind this offensive line, 0 sacks.
0 sacks 2 weeks in a row. By the way, or no, we had one last.
No, we had 5 last week.
Nope. I mean, our defensive line did, but not our offensive line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
I was about to say, I was like, wait a second. Okay. Yeah,
our offensive line has not given up a sack.
Dude, our offensive line all season long has not been the worst. I'm not trying to say they're world beaters. Yes.
The Falcons game was the worst.
This narrative that our offensive line is like inhibiting Teddy Bridgewater's level of play has always been nonsense.
I'm with you 100. I'm with you 100 on that.
Did you want to wait until the very end of the show for my cripple joke, or you don't want it now, or? Well, it's up to y'all.
Well, first of all right, here, look, go to your final points and give us your cripple check.
Sure.
And give us a chin check. Well, you already gave us our chin check.
Yeah.
Chin check is Jeremy Chin. I think he's showing the promise of a future gold jacket wearer. I think that this defense continues to play above the level of talent that's on the roster. And I think that the more we continue to try and accept mediocrity in the form of Teddy Bridgewater and Marty Herney, we will forever live in said mediocrity. And whatever injury DJ comes away with, it's 100% on Teddy Bridgewater. Now. A family decides they're going to go on vacation, so they check into the hotel. After the family checks in, the wife and kids move away. The husband leans over to the receptionist and says, "Hey, the porn's disabled, right?" He says, "No, it's normal porn, you sick fuck."
That is a good cripple joke. Well done. Yes, the porn. I don't even know what to say. I want to come up with a backup joke. All right.
You think wherever and whenever. That one's for you to have wherever you are.
Say it one more time, because the checking into the hotel part got me.
A family checks into a hotel on vacation. The wife and kids walk away from the counter, and the husband leans into the receptionist and says, "Hey, is the porn disabled?" And it's like, "No, you sick fuck. It's normal porn."
The wife and kids walk away. That's what I needed to hear.
The joke ends way more abruptly.
I just needed the details so I could restate it. All right, who's up next?
I'll go real quick. Just overall thoughts of the game. It's exactly what I've been saying all year long, man. All year long. And for all you people who have been at me on Twitter and talking shit about me in the chat room and this and that, it's cool. I'm fine with that. But guess what? I'm right. Teddy Bridgewater is not the answer. Anybody who's been saying that, sorry, you're wrong. He proved it this game. Our defense has been playing well enough for him to win games, and he's not been winning his games, period. That's the final thoughts on the game. Chin check obviously goes to Jeremy Chin, and that's all I got to say. Everybody else, ice up. Got different thoughts, ice up.
CK?
Yeah, so thoughts on the game is there's definitely blame outside of Teddy Bridgewater for today's loss. But Teddy Bridgewater houses 90% of what we saw today as far as why we lost. And there's not much you're going to be able to point out to say otherwise to me. And that's not me saying I'm not willing to hear your side of things. It's just I watched that entire game and I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt every quarter, every drive. And when he did something good, I was like, hey, that was good. But when he did something bad, it typically was really bad. And that's what we got all game from him. So it was 100% all on Teddy Bridgewater outside of the 10%, well, 90% on Teddy Bridgewater, 10% on that last, on Joey Sly and the defense on that last drive. But my chin check, I'm going to obviously give it to Jeremy Chin. And I'm going to let Tony do his honorable mention for Kerr, but my honorable mention might be Trey Boston for playing his best game of the season of the year so far.
Really?
Yeah, making a big ass tackle. I'm going to read my notes verbatim. Right, so I got these notes that I wrote in a hurry when I was watching the game, and these are my thoughts on the game. In order, defensive line has gotten so much better. 2, Jeremy Chin is in the record books now, right? I mean, the record books. 2 back-to-back scooping scores. No one's ever done it. Offense looks the same. That's what I wrote. The offense looks the same. Exactly. Play clock, still an issue. Robbie Anderson scores for the first time since week 1. Offensive line is not terrible. That's what I wrote. Not terrible. And 2, I got 2 more. Teddy played the same as he always does. Look, folks, is for you guys that think that we're shitting on Teddy. No, the only thing different today, and I wasn't even surprised, was not surprised one bit by any of it, A, and B, the only thing that is different is that he wasn't a 70% completion rate, but even if he was, it would have been the same outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one more that I thought of in the end that I didn't write down, so I was lying about. I was going to read them verbatim. So that's all I got. Look, Tuesday nights, 9:00, the C3 Panthers podcast, longest running Panthers podcast available. Tom Brady shook the hand of Patrick Mahomes, but he looks like he's going to cry.
He's doing it. You know, he's only doing it because he's been criticized.
That's it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
Yeah. So
that's it.
Whoa,
he gets more screen time.
Joey, you want to keep us here forever? Look, Joey. All right, Joey. Just because I love you, we'll do this one.
It's just gonna be the rah rah rah.
It better be.
Oh, that'd be nice.
No, it's 1 minute and 51 seconds. No, it's not.
Okay, guys.
It's just him doing rah rah rah.
So I got a blind joke for you. I don't even need to say my name because I'm the only one that tells blind jokes on this podcast.
Blind people telling blind jokes.
And this actually happened. So we're at work, and we're coming out of the canteen area. I go buy my Pepsi that I have no business drinking, but I don't give a shit at this point because I'm already a fat boy. So you get out, and I'm turning, and as I'm turning to go back to the break room, some other dude's coming the other way, and he gets into a collision, and the guy was walking fast, and I was accelerating, so it was like, boom! And I'm like, oh shit, sorry. I guess you didn't see that one coming, because I sure didn't.
That's good!
So, the police show up to
the
a blind
police
person's house or to their work, and they are investigating the crime.
What crime?
The cop says, sir, did you see anything suspicious last night?
Oh, God.
And the guy goes, no, officer, I didn't see a damn thing.
Mm.
And if they're at work and
I've made that joke about you.
You know, they're putting the buckles on straps like me. The officer says, look here, son. Don't mess with me, because I'm strapped. The guy reaches into the buggy, pulls out a strap to show it to him, and he goes, officer, I am too.
Oh, God.
Guys, you know how I end my call.
These are blind dad jokes.
Wow.
Okay, do you want a dead baby joke? Should we finish with a dead baby joke? How do you make a dead baby float?
How?
You take its foot. You take your foot off its head.
Oh my God!
How about this one? Here's my other one. I only got two of them. No. I got two of them. I got three of them. I got three of them. How do you make a dead baby float?
Ass, boys.
How do you make a dead baby float?
How?
2 scoops ice cream, 1 scoop dead baby. Oh, that's a good one. And the last one is, what's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a pile of bowling balls?
Oh my God! I know this one.
You can unload one with a pitchfork. Hey, you got one, Greg?
Here, Tony. Here you go. I only have one. This is the only last fucked up joke I know. What's the good thing about 27-year-old girls?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
There's 20 of them.
Okay, I got one for you. I got one for you that's not sick. How about this? You know how ducks fly in the V?
How?
You've seen ducks flying in a V in the air?
Yeah.
You know how one side's always longer than the other?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
There's more ducks on that side.
All right, that's
listen, I have a bad baby joke that I'm happy to share with you guys.
Do it.
What's worse than a baby nailed to a tree?
Oh, God.
I don't know.
A baby nailed to 10 trees.
We need to end this show, bro. I need to end this show.
All right. It's the C3 Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. We're live Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Usually we don't do dead baby jokes. Usually we do Teddy Bridgewater jokes.
I did a duck joke.
We're just delirious at this point.
We're having fun at this point. Look, if crippled people make fun of themselves, if blind people make fun of themselves, then we can make fun of ourselves, folks. and enjoy it, man. Look, Hakeem Delph says, do you guys want to see what we have? $4.99. Thank you, bro. Do you guys want to see what we have in PJ Walker for the rest of the season instead of Teddy?
Yes. We all do.
No, Teddy Bridgewater gives us a better chance to lose. So no.
All right, Coney, how can they find you?
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC. Man, I keep the same energy. I speak honest, and I'm gonna answer people when they message me. Also, this Wednesday, there's gonna be a brand new mock draft on DraftTech.com. I already know you guys are interested in players and what kind of pick we're gonna have, so make sure you check out DraftTech.com. I'm the Panthers analyst, and I write all their comments. DraftTech.com this Wednesday. Check it out.
PJ Walker for president, obviously, and CK, how can they find the man of many streams?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook Gaming. I stream a lot of Warzone. You can find me there at Codizzle_Allen. And I play a lot with the voice actor of Ghost, actually, from the game, whose name's Jeff Leach. He's a streamer on Facebook as well. So go check us out.
I have been playing Among Us over the weekend, over the Thanksgiving break with my kids. I think it's overrated. You guys like it more than you should like it. B, everybody is talking when they're not supposed to be talking. That's how people play that game. C, go ahead.
Yes.
You can find me at the BatDaddy52 on Twitter. That's pretty much my only form of social media. Check me out there, Geek Open Alliance Network. You can find all my shows. Other than that, keep pounding.
My name's Tony Dunn. Sometimes they call me the professor because I profess things about being a fan of the Carolina Panthers on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. live on YouTube. The longest running Panthers podcast. I'm going to say it really long. Longest running Panthers podcast. Brought to you by myself and these beautiful people, not only in the podcast, but also in the chat room, listening on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, wherever the hell you get podcasts at. 252-228-5098. Thank you, guys. Hector Legend, we'll close on this. Mad respect, but I got lots of disagreements. Don't worry, bro. I do, too. I got mad respect and lots of disagreements. We'll see you guys Tuesday night, man. Happy Thanksgiving, first Sunday of Advent. God bless you. We'll see you Tuesday.
Peace and love.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.